Good morning, everyone. Can you see the sheep? Can you see them? Nice way to wake up to see the sheep. 4 sheep. There they are. Anyway, hello, everybody. Look at them run away now once I get close to them. Ah, bastards. That's my Sunday lunch. Look at that. It's a gorgeous day. I know some clouds, but it's very, very hot. The sun is out in force today. But hello, Jersey Jen. Hang on, let me turn the camera around. Let me put this down. Morning, Jersey Jen. You go on the phone, my darling. Morning, Yaya Trucker. 1962. They missed. I can't see the full name because I'm on my phone. But morning, walking with New Hampshire. Happy days, New Hampshire. So New Hampshire, you don't have sales tax in New Hampshire, do you? Or there's something. There's something about New Hampshire that people like to go shopping there, I heard. Morning, hippie chick. It is a nice sunny day. How are you, my darling? I did part read your article you sent me this morning. I didn't get a chance to read it all, but I've partly read it. So, for those who don't know, Mark Sanchez, the ex-NFL quarterback, obviously he got stabbed, but he's got some charges against him now. And that is in hippie chick country, so I get to know all about it from hippie chick. Hey, youth. Morning, Christine. How are you, Christine? Nice to see you. No sales taxes. Prices are what they say they are, which is good because it's the same in the UK. In the UK, whatever it says it is, it is. So when I first went to America and started buying stuff, obviously, went for Starbucks. It was like, I don't know, call it $5, $5.50 something. And they say, that'll be $6.50. I'm like, what the fuck? The board says 5 something. That's just weird to me. Yeah, so North Carolina taxes, your farts. Yeah, well, that's why it was unique by New Hampshire. Because like I say, most places in America do tax you for everything. Buying TV $5.50 is $5.50. That's the way it should be. I just don't like it when there's no taxes, but you don't know how much you're paying. And also, what's weird for us is the tipping culture. Do you know what I mean? Because we pay people well for service staff. They get paid well. So tipping culture is not a thing in the UK. But when you get to America, you hear about how poorly they pay. I just don't understand it. I just don't get it. These restaurants or whatever, they make a lot of money and they can't pay their servers. It's quite disgusting, to be quite honest with you. I just thought I couldn't believe that they could make a living unless you tip them. They can't make a living, and that's disgusting. That's something we're not used to here in the UK. So when you ask somebody, like in the UK, we still tip, but we don't tip 20%, 30, 40, 50%. It's like, fuck that shit. Depends on the quality of it. You might, I don't know, pay 5, 10%, maybe, if it's really good quality. But yeah, normally you go into a Starbucks, coffee shop, Dunkin's, you ain't tipping. There's 0 tips. So we got paid crap, and then we get paid crap, and then get taxed to the hills on top of it all. Healthcare. I know. Thank you, 1692. Dana Leonard, hello, sir. I actually watched your stream last night. Good stream, Dana. Very informative stream. If you haven't seen it, go and watch it. I mean, I got a problem with Dana, though. You had to show Tracy that audio, didn't you? You motherfucker. I was gutted when she was like, well, maybe not. Maybe not get married now. I was so disappointed with myself. So disappointed with myself. Quizzical girl, hello. Now, Quizzical girl. For some reason, I think you're Quizzical girl. Now, you're either one or two people. I forget which one you are. Are you from Australia? Or are you from Compton? I don't remember which one you are. Because there's a few Qs. And I forget which one's in Australia. And I forget which one's from Compton. Is it Qbert that's in Compton? You're in Australia. Happy days. Good day, mate. Good day, Sheila. So do you pay taxes in... So Australia, if I walk into a store in Australia and it's like, I want to get a coffee and it's like $5 Australian, do you then have to pay taxes on it? Or is it like, it's $5, that's all he pays, $5? People here literally get divorced but stay together with tax breaks. Sometimes sad, that is sad. That is sad. Like, let's be fair now, right? There's no country in the world that's perfect. None. I just think it's mad how you can't pay people good wages. And I suppose some people may say, well, if you pay them good wages, then the restaurants don't make the money, restaurants have to close down. Then my answer to that is tough. You know, people deserve a fair wage. Mexi, Aussie. People deserve to be paid. It's just, why as a consumer do we have to pay a shit ton for the food and then have to tip a shit ton? Now, obviously, I will 100% tip. This is nothing against the servers, because servers deserve the tips. Not an issue. Not an issue tipping. But I wish that restaurants would pay them properly and then they can get the tip on top. You know, people can still tip, but they still deserve a living allowance. It's just bizarre to me. And I tip. I don't go to Starbucks and tip, I'll be honest. But if I go to a restaurant, I normally tip. So I still tip the server, but I also know that server's making okay money, but they're not making great money. They're making okay money, but not great. So if the service is good, I'll always tip for that. Lady Di, I know you're hookers missed me. Good morning, my darling. I got loads of things to play, but I can't play them because, as in, got no videos to play. But I can't play them until I get back to my desk because I can't do it off my phone. Tipping is not the norm in Australia. Yeah, I think Australia is more like the UK in that sense. You know, you tip too for good service. Yeah, and it should be. So there's nothing against tipping. I'm not against tipping, but why can't we tip for good service, knowing that they are still getting paid as well? It's just bizarre to me. Just bizarre. And what is a tipping culture? I always tip about 20-25% in America. I just don't know how much you're supposed to tip. You know. Oh, you're watching Congress hearing. There you go. Hang on, fucking out of breath there. My trainers are wet. My trainers are wet. If you know what wet is, the band in the UK. some places have to share their tax. So my niece now, she works as a server. She's 15. So obviously, all my nieces have worked, and they have to share all their tips between them and stuff like that. No matter how old you are, you don't have to tip anything here, Dad. But don't you? Because if you don't tip a server, they're not making money. Do you know what I mean? I get that you don't have to, but like, how much a server's been paid? Like I don't know. I just think you should be paid. You know, I don't want to talk about great money. I'm talking about your basic salary should be, good enough to live off. I always tip a server well if they do a great job. Yeah, Jersey Jen. I'll go the extra mile with a good server, yes. Quizzical Girl, I am in, I would say, West Wales. I'm like about half an hour from the coast in Wales. So I'm down southwest Wales. I am. That's bullshit. You have to share it, yeah? They all have to share it because it all comes in. Now, I don't know if they have to share it with kitchen staff and stuff. I don't know. Same places. So in the UK, what they started to do was if you got a party over 4 people, or somewhere is like 6, they instantly put 10% tip in, which I think is bullshit. They're just like, there's no choice. If there's more than 4 people, instantly tip, which I hate that. It's like, so you're telling me whatever I buy now, it doesn't matter what the service is like, I have to pay 10%. And that's a deterrent because I won't tip more then. I tip for good service more, if not. Okay. I tip for good service more, if not, you receive the bare minimum. That's fair, yeah. No, I disagree about living off of it because it's not supposed to be a career. But why? Why is it not supposed to be a career? What's wrong with being a server as a career? And I mean, I genuinely mean that. I don't see what's wrong with it. And by that I mean because it offers flexibility. Some people got children, so they can pick and choose their hours. I look as a good career for flexibility. That is. So I don't. We disagree, Lady Di. We disagree. Okay. I have been a server, so I tip well. If it's been great service, I tip even better. There you go. Go with the extra hog, hippie chick. Dan, how are you, sir? I'm proud of you. Cheerio. How we doing? Hello. How you, Dan? Hope you're doing well, brother. Hope you're doing very, very well. I am watching a trial about prison guards that beaten inmates. Yes. From but what I understand, it's not live or anything. Yeah. It's just videos. I did see that, but it's not showing anything. I only give the tip. Hey, Dana, I've heard you struggled to even give the tip. I heard you very much struggled to get the tip. I'm assuming it doesn't snow that much in Wales, asking because that big field has a proper sledding. So, yeah, we used to sled down there when we were younger. No, it doesn't. It doesn't snow that much. Maybe a week, a year, if that. Maximum. Lisa, I think you should have to work for your wage, and the better you are, the more you make. The more we give handouts to everyone, the more it is. No, I don't disagree with that, but that's just where I only disagree with you. I believe that being a server is a career, because even being a server, you can work yourself up, and being a server, some people, I don't know, it just suits them. It suits they so my point is, I agree there shouldn't be any handouts. I just think that servers should be paid, same as everyone else. I view it as a career. That's where we probably disagree. You don't view it as a career. I personally view it as a career. But we both agree that there shouldn't be handouts. I agree with that. But that's on the establishments to pay them better. Yeah. But there's no testimony from yesterday up. Yeah. That's what I mean. The openings were up yesterday, yes. But there's no, all the testimony yesterday, yeah. None of it's there. So that's why I'm not playing it. Because it's New York. So I just can't. If we don't get to see the testimony, I mean, there's no point. So that's why I'm not streaming it. Like an 8 sitting in a pile of leaves. Now, you've been generous to yourself, Dana. You've been very generous there to say that. Dana's in here lying. I can't even compare it to anything. I'm not going to do you dirty like that either. I do feel they should be paid normal minimum wage. That's what I'm saying. Same for us. Normal minimum wage, absolutely. And if you feel then that they, like, that's what I mean. I don't always tip. But if someone's gone over and above, I'll tip. But obviously the culture's different in America, and that's where we do agree. I think there should be a minimum wage for that server role. Same here. If you want to be a server, it's a minimum wage. So I know I was surprised to even see the open statements. Yeah, I was surprised as well, to be honest with you. But yeah, because they're not covering any of the testimony, yeah, I'm not covering it. But also, the other reason I'm not covering it is because I've only got 8 days streaming left, so before I leave, so it's pointless. But yeah, there's a few things going on. Anyway, also before I forget, one of the things I wanted to touch upon, Lady Di was a server for your first job. I think it's normal. Most people, I think, become servers, no matter where you are, because it's a good start, I think. Yes, so I wanted to just touch upon. Also, yes, thank you, Bexy. If you'd like to help Dylan, there you go. Also, Venmo is in the chat as well. Not chat, in the rolling. So if you want to send a Venmo instead, you can put that. It's in the scroll. It's Dennis. I think it's Dennis J. Sweeney. So if you do want to send a Venmo, you can. Also, very quickly, the shop is launched for a month. So the Alternate Corner shop store is back up. Rhonda, thank you so much. Rhonda's already bought a hoodie and a mug. So thank you for that. And Tim has bought a hoodie. Thank you very much for your support. So the Alternate Corner store is back up. And again, the Venmo is there if you do want to support those of you in America you were asking. Lady Di says, oh, sorry, yeah, I said, Ian Stewardess is a server. The kid get paid good money. Yeah. Lady Di, it can be slippery slope again. Using talk to text just in case it's messed up. But if they get paid minimum wage, do they not give us good service? That's my question. That's a very good question. That's a very good question. I think that goes in wherever you are, wherever work. Like I'm not even just, again, culture for us is sometimes you tip. If you ask somebody to, I don't know, do something for you, you tip them. As a thank you, not just servers now. I mean, people in the industry and stuff like that. I mean, people in offices get tips sometimes. So I don't know. It depends where you are and how you want to support people. I guess it's people's decisions. I think I would be less inclined to tip. I would rather have the choice to tip if I wanted to tip, rather than being made to tip, I suppose. There you go, Venmo at Dennis J. Sweeney. Good morning, Dylan. Good morning, Daffy Dill. So yeah, I've put the store up for um, for a month. I'm looking to open another store somewhere else that doesn't cost me. My minimum wage here is £7.25, and servers make £3.15. So even at minimum wage, they would need to ride it. I think as well, your indication of minimum wage is different to mine, because our minimum wage in the UK is across the board. It's the same for everybody, no matter what your role is. You are on minimum wage. So whether you're a server, office worker, no matter what, everybody is on the same minimum wage. It is so your culture is different. So my perception is different, if you know what I mean, because I know what the minimum wage stands for here in the UK. Because it doesn't matter what your role is, job is. You could be trading accountant, you could be whatever. There's a minimum wage. Whatever your role is, you get paid that, no matter what your role is, as a bare minimum. So, and then from there, then there's levels up. Then obviously, Hick Chick 100%, and that's why if they had 2 customers in 8 hours, yes. Hey, Daffy Dana, but Acorns, hang on, grow into mighty oaks. He doesn't though. He doesn't. That's not good ideas. If you add your tip on your check, then the server gets taxed on the tip. Okay. Yeah, I think the same here as well. I believe so. Daffy. Okay, Lance, send your servers. Get minimum wage. Do you see a difference in service, for example, like when you come to the US versus going out there? I would say that's a loaded question. So I went, for example, I normally go into places, like, I'm careful how I answer this, because that's a loaded question a little bit, because I've had great service in the US. I've also had poor service in the US. I think overall, I would say the US offers overall maybe better service. But I can't 100% say that, because I've been in places here, they're great, no matter what, they're fantastic. So, but I think that's been because I'm local as well. So I'm maybe a little bit biased. I try to be central here and say but I've had some shit service in the US, rude service in the US. But I would say overall, I imagine that the service is better in the US. I would imagine. Uh, I usually hand my server cash, that way they don't get taxed. Oh, great idea, yes. Daffy, Australia has minimum wage and awards for specific industries. There you go. Yeah, I do that too. Spacey Stacey. How's Spacey Stacey? Where's Mark? I can't see Mark. Mark, I'm sorry, I can't see you. I just seen. Oh, yeah, I see you now. Jackson's Nickel, hello to you. I always try to tip in cash. I always pay in cash, normally, if I'm in America. Yo, Marky. I have had both too. Okay, well, you answered my argument about service and minimum wage. I'm not sure if I did or not. I'm not sure if I did or not. I look. You got to also remember, I come from a different culture. I think minimum wage is a minimum, and if I feel the need to tip, I will tip. But that also goes not just for service, for anything. So no, I don't miss you. I see you there. Dave, how are you, buddy? Blue collared, how are you? Now I'd be distracted, Dave, because Lady Di's been a bitch to me. So she's not, but I'd be distracted. No, right. So that's what I want to say to you people was, if you missed the intro, I did an intro about Zachary Anderson, who is in Wisconsin and who is in prison right now, wrongfully so, in my opinion, wrongfully so. They have a motions hearing. I think it's a hearing on the 4th of December. So Josie would know more. So once Josie's here, we can ask her a little bit more. Uh, uh, Later, however, I do not think that people at McDonald's or Burger King or wherever should be paid 15 an hour, and then somebody in an office gets paid 16 an hour. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Well, I mean, you could go down a dark hole here, a rabbit hole here, But yeah, I guess I come from a little bit different perspective, and when I'm not walking out of breath, maybe you can do it a little bit better. But bank is so good. Just called me to ask if I made an unusual payment to me. Yes, Rhonda bought some merch last night. I don't remember what my account is. Something on Shopify, the alternate quarter. But thank you to you, Rhonda. Also, don't you forget, I have forgot about you, Rhonda. Pemblwydd hapus, E.T. Pemblwydd hapus, E.T. Pemblwydd hapus I Rhonda. Pemblwydd hapus, E.T. Happy birthday, Rhonda. Hip hooray, hip hooray, hip hip hooray. So Rhonda's birthday today, 21 again. Dina, hello, my darling. How are you? Right. Hope you're doing well, Dina. Always thinking about you, my darling. Oh, shit. What have I done now? Lady Di says, it hurts the economy when everybody, no offense, because I would do it if I support my family's making 15 flipping burgers, especially now since McDonald's is using kiosks. It is beautiful here. Uh, there you go. There you go, Dina. My rhubarb patch. Dina. Brenda would love that. Dennis wouldn't. My house. And me. So, hey, Stacks. Yeah, trucker. Hippie chick. There you go, Rhonda. Everyone say happy birthday to Rhonda. Happy days. I hadn't forgotten. Dennis, really good day. How are you, Dennis? Hope you're doing well, my friend. Your order has also gone. Dennis and Brenda getting a hoodie each. So, gorgeous. Not just me, the whole land, yeah? It is gorgeous. It is gorgeous. Look at California, for example. They make $20 an hour at McDonald's. So I think our McDonald's, yeah, they would make, I think, the minimum. But then you would have a server, then you'd have a supervisor, then a manager. So there would be different levels. But 100%, if you go in as an entry level office worker, they would be 100% the same wage as a McDonald's server. But then obviously the threshold for that office worker is higher. The ceiling for that office worker is a lot higher than a McDonald's worker, if that makes sense. Morning, Katie. How are you, my darling? Katie, the store is open. Alternate Corner store is open. I know that you were asking about hoodies and sweatshirts. It's now open. 1 month only. So if you do want something, I do also appreciate that not everybody wants to wear something that says bitch on it. I do appreciate that. So I also understand if no one wants to buy anything with bitch on it. But I will be wearing it loud and proud because I'm representing all of you. You got some rain, have you? Oof. Yeah, we got. Well, I mean, the field is soaked because you had rain overnight and this morning, so my feet are absolutely soaked. But all in all, it's been nice here, so I can't complain. What's the website again? I don't know. I'll have to be back on my computer. That's Mexi. Mexi, I did post it in Discord, but I don't know what it is. Bexy might be here. So yeah. Also, Dennis, I did tell everyone that if you did want to send Venmo instead, because people have asked in the past, can we send you Venmo? And I don't have Venmo, but you can to at Dennis J Sweeney, as seen in the bottom ticker. So it's at Dennis Sweeney. Sorry, Dennis J, not P. Dennis J Sweeney. So that's also there for now. Just make sure you label it with my name, otherwise Dennis will spend it all. He'll still spend it, don't worry. It's pouring there. Oh no. You got rain in America. So don't tell me this, because when I came out to America in the spring, it was so nice in the UK. The sun was out, but the weather was awful in Boston. So I'm hoping that this time it's not nice. It could be nice here, and then really bad again in Boston. Timmer told me I could wear shorts for October and partially November. So I'm bringing a pair of shorts with me, with the hope that I'll be able to wear them. And Dennis has told me I need to lose 4 stone in the next week, 2 weeks, otherwise I won't fit into the stools in Gillette Stadium. So I need to lose weight now as well. So quick question for people that's been at Gillette Stadium. What's the food like? Hot dogs and stuff. What's the situation? What's the situation? Oh, thank you, Jersey Jen. Oh, thank you, Jersey. You did as well. Thank you, my darling. Freeze warning tomorrow night. Oh, shit. So you've got Dennis saying freeze warning tomorrow night. Spacey Stacey says, yeah, it's been warm here still. Not tomorrow, it's not. End of October here is yuck. Start of it is good. Okay. And yeah, Jersey Jen, thank you, my darling. I appreciate you for that as well. I need to make sure I lose some weight as well with all these clothes. Sodium. Whoops. Sodium. Oh, is that to lose weight? Yeah. Very pricey sausages, $50. Okay, well, we're not having sausages then, Dennis. We're not having any food in Gillette. So we'll forget about that one. You'll be eating unhealthy foods in stadiums. Right, question. Just a matter of fact here, Dina. I'll let you know, right? I will be eating unhealthy foods full stop in Boston. I am definitely going to be putting weight on in Boston. I love my food too much. I don't drink. I don't do drugs. I don't smoke. So anymore, anyway. So I will be eating. That's my vice. Mr. O, hello to you. The food there is just okay. Go to the restaurants. I have been to one of the restaurants, Mr. O. I'm also joking. I'm not going to be eating there. I know it's going to be too expensive. So I'll go somewhere afterwards. We'll go somewhere afterwards. It's all good. You're having salad. Dennis has lost weight, people. He's lost weight. But when I come there, he's going to put weight back on. So the other quote I sent to you, the size request is so it should be fine. I put a bit of weight on since then, Jersey Jen. Remember, my testosterone levels mean I'm putting weight on. So that's why I'm walking, trying to lose it. But I will fit it anyway. Once I'm fixed, I'll fit it anyway. Fenway got me for $18 sausage outside after game law. I said I like to get a kiss before I get fucked. Oh, that's funny, Mark. We ran into Dumpster Juice last night. Did you? How is she? How is Dumpster Juice? Is she back on the streets now? Is she back on? I missed Dumpster Juice. Dumpster Juice is nice. Dennis, keep eating carrot cake. You did see her. She said she misses you. Well, next time you see her, tell her I expect a message from her. So, tell her stop being selfish and send me a message. I've not heard from her in ages. Shorts, t-shirts, long sleeves, and a hat. New England fall. All 4 seasons could happen in one day. That's true. Well, I've got my Boston Scallies and I've got my Patriots gear as well. So, yes, I'll have plenty of hats. And I got my new merch, my bitch merch, that I sent out to Dennis which I will also be wearing. Um, no sugar and reduced carbs. I'm pretty good on sugar. Carbs are bad at. I'll be honest, I'm bad at carbs. I won't lie to you, Quizzical Girl. Carbs, I'm the worst at. Uh, you going back to Salem again? No, Mr. O. I'm not going to say Salem. It's going to be too busy. Um, I will be in. I will be in Peabody for lunch, but that's about it. I'm not going to Salem itself. Dina Warshall. Dina said gloves too. What? You wear a glove just to put finger up Dina's bum. Dana's already told me bring some gloves so you can test my prostate. So, oh shit, Dana's got me here. Hang on. Hey, my son is home from work today. See you later, Daffy Dale. Have a great day, my darling. Chris wears shorts as there is no snow. Okay, yeah, Timmer does as well. Now, my biggest vice is root beer. I won't lie to you, people. That's going to be my biggest fight. I love root beer. I can't get root beer here. So, I will be having root beer for breakfast, lunch, dinner, midnight snacks, everything. I love root beer. Well, my tits will be even bigger. Pat, look at Pat. But yeah, that is. So when you said sugar, you're right. I am. Root beer will be my sugar. But pasta and bread is just too good. Bread is me, Marky. It's bread. I had a root beer float on the Freiburg for over the weekend. I thought of you. You think of your time spaces, Stacey, not just on the weekends. But yeah, I need to try root beer float as well. I need to. Which games are you? What sort of root beer float is ice cream, isn't it? Ice cream and root beer, I think. Which Pats games? We're going to Cleveland Browns and Atlanta Falcons. 2 games. You tried root beer for the first time when you were last year, right? Yes, first time, Dana. And I'm obsessed with it. Obsessed with it. We have something similar called dandelion and burdock, but it's not the same. It's in between Pepsi and root beer. Dandelion and burdock is. You and Chris are so much alike. Oh, well, we both love you, Rhonda, so we must be alike. That's calling me, but you know, I have to try a cold cream. So I do need to. Robin G's told me about cream sodas, so I do need to try a cream soda. I just need to. I don't. I know it comes in a can, but I don't actually know what it is. If that makes sense. People cut down root beer float, which I think is ice cream, and then the cream soda thing. I'm not really sure what that is, but I will try it. I'll try anything once. That's why Dana wants me to bring gloves. Um, but yeah, I can't wait. I have a friend from London who loves root beer, and he said he can't really get it at home. You can't. The closest thing you can get is dandelion and burdock. And normally you drink dandelion and burdock in a can when you get fish and chips. When you get fish and chips. Brenda's making homemade bread now. I love Dennis. I love bread. Do you know what? Brenda's mac and cheese and bread with butter. Oh, Dennis, mac and cheese with I can't because I won't fit on the plane. I won't fit on the plane. I'm more shocked that you got a friend though, Spaces Tasty, than I am that they can't find anything. Oh no, bread I'm obsessed with. I'm obsessed with. Um, cornbread, yes, cornbread last time was delicious. That was. Stop it, Dennis. I'm putting weight on just thinking of all these things. You know, I'm gonna have to walk every day. That's what I might do: start walking every day. I'll meet with Timber every day. They have bottles too. It's delish. Yeah, the bottles ones I like, Mark. I don't remember what it's called. There's two. two types. I like them all, but there's one there. Is it I something? I something? Sourdough. Oh, now I'm drooling. I'm drooling now, Quizzical Girl. But cornbread, sourdough bread. I'm putting a stone on just thinking about all this, people. Yeah. But I have to be very careful because I won't fit in the frigging seat of the plane if I'm not careful. Do you know what I mean? I have to ask for an extension. And I don't want, I've never asked for an extension belt before. And I don't want to start now. But I probably am quite close to it, if I'm being honest. But I don't want to. What's scala bread? What's scala bread? Don't know what scala bread is. I have to Google it. I've never heard of scala bread. I've heard of melted butter, as in, but not scala bread. Scala bread, okay. Remember that scala bread. Okay, I'll try looking at that then. No Sarah P today. Oh, hope she's okay. Go carnival for a week. People say that. It's just, again, it's the no milk. I read no milk, no bread. Is it? No, you can't have milk. You can have butter. You can have cheese. So, Marky, I used to be a big fan of Dr. Pepper. I still am, but I'm Pepsi. I'm root beer, Pepsi, Dr. Pepper, and then Coke underneath it. Yeah, so carnivore, you can do eggs, meat, no vegetables, butter and cheese. You'll fit in the seats. Oops. Keep walking while you're there. Stay on track while you're there. So I will Jackson's Nickel because I'll tell you why. There is a walking path right next to where I'm staying. Dennis Sweeney told me about it yesterday. It's about a mile. So I think my plan most days will be to walk like 2 miles or something, if I can, most days. So what I might do is jump on here and just do a live, wherever time I do it. It'd probably be whilst you're all in bed because I'll be jet lagged. But I'll do some walking and I'll do it. So I've just ordered a stick thing. I've ordered a stick thing. Selfie stick. Italian food. So what is scally bread? Can I just be stupid? What is the scally bread? I don't know what it is. I've never heard of it before. Italian food. So last time I had Italian food, Rhonda, like it was disgusting. La Scala, disgusting. Would never recommend anyone to go there. But everyone told me it's the best place to go. Daddy's told me it's the best Italian you'll ever get in your life. Disgusting. But I still want to know what scally bread is. I like garlic bread. I like sourdough. I like most bread. I'm converting now to brown bread, wholemeal bread, and I try not to eat white bread. What the fuck am I doing? We're 50 minutes in, I'm still talking about food. No wonder, I don't even know how many people are here, but there can't be that many now because it's not the right topic, I suppose. But Smurfette, how are you? How you doing, Sass? I never heard of scally bread either. Yeah, what is it, people? What is scally bread? So Dennis Sweeney told me the best Italian will be La Scala, the best Chinese will be Panda Express. What the fuck, look at him, full of shit. I know you are, Dennis. I know you are. Garlic bread. Peter, garlic bread. Garlic bread. Cheese cake. Get the fuck out of here. Peter Kay, he's a comedian in the UK if you don't know who he is. That's a great idea. I'm not sure what the great idea is, but I'll take it. Let's stop for a second then. We've been walking for 50 minutes. We've been doing well. Yummy. Randolph, yuck. North End for Italian. Let's talk about celery. Oh, I can't with celery. I can't with celery. I can't with celery. Panda Express is not Chinese hotel. Dennis, that. Spacey Stacy. I had to Google it because I'd never heard of it, and said it's mainly a Boston area. Explains why I don't know it. I still don't know what it is. No carbs. Garlic bread, awesome. I'm gonna have to Google it as well then, hippie chick, because they always tell you what scally bread is. It's like scally hats. No sugar and no carbs. What, in the bread? I'm out walking with each other. Happy days, Sassmas. Well, I'm still walking till Robin G comes in. Once Robin G comes in, I'm going to stop the stream. So I'm out walking with each other. Morning, Robin G. Just saying wonderful things about you. Robin G, hope you're doing well, my darling. Right, that's the end. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Lady Di's gone. Lady Di came in, she's gone. But it's nice to see you, though. It was nice to see you. Right, so thank you, God, you're not studying to be a priest. Hey, Dennis, I learned from the best, from you. Dennis, really. I can't wait to, you all know I was a bit, like, up and down about going to Boston and stuff like that for various reasons. But the one thing I've never been up and down about is to see Dennis. There's good people I can't wait to meet. I can't wait to meet a lot of you. I really can't. Now, I don't know if I'm going to meet Spacey Stacy this time. Oh, yes, we are when we go to Warren's Tavern. So we could do that. Or, I know it's far for you, Walpole, Spacey Stacy, Wednesday or Thursday as well. Well, if you can make one of them. Rhonda's making the Wednesday. Grilled cheese with scally bread. Now, right. Grilled cheese, yes. I still don't know what scally bread is, though. So, Keto Adkins. So, I've tried. It's not right. It's not about me losing weight and stuff, right? I need to walk and stuff to maintain my weight. Hey, Tuddy Pip. It's more the fact that because I take steroids for my medicine, it's believed that and other stuff, it's believed that makes me put weight on. So every diet I'm on helps me to try and maintain it. So I don't lose anything ever. I just maintain. Or if I don't, I put weight on. If you know what I mean. Once they get down to understanding what my illnesses are and swapping my medicine and stuff, then I'm hoping that will then mean I can lose weight easy. But I'm just not there yet. It's a pain in the ass. I was hoping to have lost about 3-4 stone by now, but I haven't. Hey Dave, especially Stacey, Rhonda, and Jersey Jen, were you not going to be around anyone who? We're not going to be around anyone who wants drama. Going to be beautiful weeks with only beautiful people. Yes, they are. Well, I wish you hadn't said beautiful people, Dennis, because you're still going to be there, Dennis. You're still going to be there, Dennis. So even though you're not beautiful, Dennis, you'll still be there. Also, that means Dana can't come because he's not beautiful people. Only Tracy can come. Fantani out of Haverhill makes the best scally bread ever. I'm going to fucking Google this. Check PM. I will check. I can't check it right now, Marky, because it means I will get off the screen. But I will check after getting in. Thought you were coming to see the Patriots. I am. I'm coming. Got to keep. I'm coming to watch the Patriots in 2 weeks. I'm going to go to the Cleveland Browns game and the Atlanta Falcons game. So, yes, I already have tickets. So, scally bread is a Boston favourite. Italian. Oh, hang on. American soft braided bread with sesame seed. That sounds delicious. Dizzy Jen, sounds delicious. How much is a stone? 14 pounds. £14, Robin G. When's one time? No idea. When Erica Walsh tells me, Marky, Erica's supposed to put it in. Stop kissing Tracy's ass. Shut the fuck up, Dana, right? I'll kiss Tracy's ass. I will kiss you all night long. I love Tracy. I can't say nothing bad. Also, I would say that about Eddie was beautiful. Just not you, Dana. The alternate corner. Look, chat. I got you. It looks nice. Sounds nice. There you go, Rhonda. Bring me a loaf, yes. North End has great scallop bread. People keep saying North End. That's up by other side of Boston, isn't it? I love you, Tracy. Hey, tell Tracy I love her. Tracy, I love you. Clip that, Dana. Clip that. Show her that. I'll take it for the game. I'm going with Tim. Shut up, Dennis. I'll go with Dennis. Yeah, he might have to ditch me because two of us are right next to each other. We're gonna be like this. Right, 5 more minutes, then I'll go to my laptop and we'll start. I got my buttons then. The best bread. So I did start speaking about Zachary Anderson, but I got distracted then. There's a few things going on, but yeah, I watched a little bit of. No, what did I watch? I watched something. I don't remember who I was watching actually. Oh, it doesn't matter anyway. Classic Italian American bake. I think I've seen it. I must have seen it. I just love bread. I could eat bread, just butter. Not like proper butter. Especially when it's hot, when you can just melt the butter on it. Oh, that is the best. Melt the butter on it. Ooh. Also, I like a bit of cheese. I do like, what I do eat a lot, well, not a lot of, but I used to eat a lot of, was fresh bread, butter, some strawberry jam or raspberry jam on it, and then a bit of cheese. That used to be delicious as well. So I can't lie. Scotty bread is considered classic. Sourdough bread. Sourdough is lovely as well. I do eat a lot of sourdough. I used to. I don't now, but I used to. Right, what have you got? I might as well go inside. Let me just do this one now. I've got to make toast with your fresh bread. You can't make toast out of fresh bread. You've got to have it with fresh bread, Dennis. Just fresh. Dennis has lost weight, though, people. I saw a photo of him yesterday. He looks like he's lost weight, but he'll be putting back on in a month's time. Right, let's get back into my office then. I'll go back in my office now. That's nearly an hour. 58 minutes or so. Oh. Yeah. Quit. Hang on. Oh. Let me remove this. 2 seconds.
Everybody's a bit of a cunt sometimes. Everybody's a bit of a cunt sometimes. We're bastards and we're gits. We're wankers and we're shits. But sometimes that is just one word that absolutely fits. Everybody's a bit of a cunt sometimes. A fact that any Catholic won't deny. I once shagged my girlfriend's sister. My gran's dead. I've never missed her. Ooh, what a cunt. Everybody's a bit of a cunt sometimes.
Seriously, Steve, fuck off.
Everybody's a bit of a cunt sometimes. Everybody's a bit of a cunt sometimes. See the beggar passing by, make a kitty cry. You're in your father's will, when's he gonna fucking die? Everybody's a bit of a cunt sometimes. Don't say you're not, you cunt, because that's a lie.
You're a cunt.
You're a cunt.
You are a cunt. You're a cunt.
You're a cunt.
You're a cunt. You're a cunt.
You're a cunt.
Give him the cunt, says Dad. Cunt.
Hippie chick, lady die, spacey Stacy, walking those streets all night. You go, ladies, come and see what's going on now. Let's go, girls. So, as well then, this is the link to the store. Sourdough bread, yes, that's nice. That's nice. Good morning, Wicked. Psyched, how are you, my darling? Hope you're doing well. So that is the link to the site. Hang on. Let's just take a look here. Let me just check something. Then we can go up here. Right. Bear with me. Okay. Okay. That. What trial have we got coming up? I don't have any specific trial until December now, because Brian Walsh has been cancelled. Postponed. Sorry. It's been postponed. I just played a thing for you. Courtney Clenny. There's another one, an Amish one I want to keep an eye out for as well. Also, there's a lot going on because we've got Zachariah as well. His hearing is on the 4th of December as well. Those are the next ones. So yeah, the Brian Walsh has been, because I'm going to Boston in 2 weeks. You know, I can't obviously do a full blown trial. There is a trial starting today. I might look at if you guys are interested in looking at it, but I can't promise. I'm not sure how long it's going to last for. So I'm not sure if we're going to still be here or not for the ending. But I might start it if it looks interesting or not. I'll take a look at that in a second now. Right. Here she is.
You're a cunt.
You're a cunt.
You are a cunt. You're a cunt.
You're a cunt.
You're a cunt. You're a cunt.
You're a cunt.
Hi, Jersey Jen. Hi, Lady Di. Lady Di, hello. Dana Leonard, Jersey Jen. Get people to go back like I'm doing. Watch the first trial. Yeah, that would be beneficial if you want to see the Zachary Anderson trial, or if you're just not interested in watching the trial, then you can go to Wrongful Pod as well. That's another option for people.
Guess what? You're a bitch.
So I've been playing a lot today on some stuff.
Objection, Your Honor. Lack of foundation calls for speculation. Unintelligible. I don't understand.
So, right. Yeah. So, sorry, Tony, that's to answer your question. There is a trial starting today in Florida, though. Let me take a. I've watched the podcast and listen. I should say, but But the trial is a must in my honest opinion. Yes, I think afterwards as well, hearing from Solomon's a must as well. I think because you afterwards you hear about everything that was not submitted into trial. So Bear in the Big Blue House. Hang on, let me. Also, I think there's a pre. No, where's it gone here? I don't sure if I want to cover law and. Hang on. Right, let me look at this first, see what we think here. As you know, I'm not really interested in doing trials on it, but oh shit, no. Hang on. The trial is about a 30-year-old woman named Daisy Link. She's facing trial for allegedly murdering her partner, Pedro Jimenez, in 2022. Video surveillance reportedly captured Link saying, unintelligible, a major artery, you'll be fine. And he allegedly, after the alleged shooting, the couple reportedly had a history of domestic violence, and Link claimed she fired the gun in self-defense. Link has also drawn national attention after becoming pregnant by an inmate while in custody. The inmate and Link allegedly never met in person and only communicated through vents, but the inmate reportedly sent semen in plastic wrap. What the fuck? But the inmate reportedly sent semen in plastic wrap to Link through one of the vents. Link could face a life sentence if convicted of murder. These people are fucking sick. These people are friggin' sick. I did, KD, and the link again is here. That is the link there. Again, just to clarify, the whole thing. Hello, Lisa. How are you, my darling? Nice to see you. The whole thing, right? I feel I always have to explain myself, and it gets on my tits a little bit because anybody that takes offense to stuff I do are normally people that don't watch me, and that's what pisses me off. Oh, so I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree with you. My problem is I don't think I can stream the whole trial, which is why I'm not interested, if that makes sense. Also, the courtroom, the audio is awful. It might get better. It might get better. We'll take a look. Who's got a new trial? No, it's a hearing. It's a hearing on the 4th to see basically if potentially will get a new trial. It's basically part of his appeal. Do you know what I mean? There's loads of doctors. I've not seen any of it, so I don't know. I just know there's a hearing on the 4th. Josie will know a lot more than me because she's very close with all of them. But I have not looked at it yet. If I be completely honest with you. Oh, thank you, Marky. I get what it means now. Scally bread. I've seen that before, Marky. Scally bread. It is nice. It is nice. So he has. So if you remember, what's his name? Kyle Rittenhouse. He had 3 attorneys there, didn't he? The female on the attorney, she is, I think, one of his attorneys now. She works for the office of the main attorney there. Or that's how it used to be. I'll be honest with you, I'm out of touch, but that's what it used to be. She was writing his appeal, last I heard, and she submitted it in. So, how long you can be on today? How long's a piece of string, KD? A few hours. We'll be on for a few hours. Right. I got something here. This is why I need to. Hippie chick! Hippie chick has. You gone for that? Oh, hippie chick. Nice. I like it. I'm just checking how much delivery was for you. So if you notice, right, if I go to the store now, hang on. I'm just trying to work something out. Yeah, probably. No worries. Sorry, people. Fucking shipping's a pain in the ass, isn't it? Thank you, Hippie Chick, for buying. So this is a new store. So, oh, hang on. So I got a new journal. The back of the journal. Sweatshirts. Yeah, the nosy, but yeah, I ordered 2. So my biggest problem with all of this, right? I'm not sure I market this. Oh, I like this one as well. This is a 15-ounce. I'm a nosy bitch. Alternate corner. So the hoodies, you can still get a normal hoodie, just the alternate corner. Then you got this then. The sweatshirts just have that, and then obviously in the back it has that. Then you've got the hoodies then, which has got that in the front. I'm a nosy bitch. Then El Chatty and alternate corner on the sides. You've got the V-neck for the ladies, and you've got the normal one. The normal one also has El Chatty and alternate corner. The V-neck does not, which is why it's a little bit cheaper. I try to make it as cheap as possible. And then obviously the long sleeve t-shirts are here as well. They just have I'm a nosy and then the alternate corner at the back as well. So you can see $42 for a hoodie. Now I reduced everything because I couldn't include the shipping. So that's why I did that. I personally like bigger graphics in the back. I think bigger is always better. So the reason I did it small was because I think it looked classier to get like that. I can also, before I went by, I can put the I'm a nosy bitch on the back if people prefer that. Do you know what I mean? I can swap it around, just do a nothing in the front, or I don't know. I don't know. I could do it that way as well. And if you look at the detail of it, let me get out of here for a second. You'll see there a woman in the grass. That's a woman vacuuming the grass. So nosy bitch. I can do that. Thank you to the people, not the Wisco. Thank you, Robbie G. Don't worry, Robbie G. I would maybe a logo on the left. That's fine. I can do that. Hippie Chick, if you want to change it, cancel your order, but that's fine. I can do that. So that's what that is. In case people are thinking, what's that thing in there? So that's the store. If there's anything specific people want, I can definitely look at doing stuff as well. So, right, there's a couple of things. So the reason I don't want to play the trial, just so you know, is because it's also like this. It's like old. And I've hear this. So that's another reason I don't want to play it. I don't go struggling. Hey Sue, good morning to you, Sue. How are you doing, my darling? Why can't they use better courtrooms? I don't really get that. Why do they have to use shit courtrooms? Right, anyway.
Hope you do well, Sue. Obviously, the other trial is they're showing that afterwards, the toddler one. Right, let me. So. This is a clip of a surveillance footage shows a 4-year-old Aria Talathi in the days before her death while on vacation in El Portal, Florida. Police say her mother, Oklahoma pediatrician Dr. Naya Gupta, smothered her and staged the scene as an accidental drowning. So this is a law crime covering this. Hey Lisa, it was a trial in Florida. Daisy Link, her name was, but I'm not showing it. I'm not going to be showing any trial because I can't show trials now with me going, so to America. So unless I know it's like a 1 or 2 day thing. So what I'm going to try and do is play some clips for people. So this is again, this 4-year-old died at the hands of her mother, allegedly. So that's why I want to do that. Oh, before I do any of these things, right? That's what I was going to address as well. Oh, thank you, whoever sent something else. Hang on. Jen, thank you, Jen. Cheers, Jen. Thank you, my darling, for the t-shirt. No problems at all, Lisa. Yes, I just got it through. Thank you, my darling. Yeah, and if everyone wants to watch it, it's called. I'll get it for you properly now. Hang on. If people want to go and watch it, it is called. Sorry, I should have. It is called. Yeah, Daisy Link, Florida v. Daisy Link. Yes, Dave, but the audio is awful, Dave. The audio is awful. I can't watch this. Look at it. Look at the sound of it.
But I can't stop them from saying what they want to say. Please talk to your client, Mr. Gomez. If either side overpromises to this jury, as we know from tradition, jurors may be expected what.
Yeah, I can't do it. I can't do it. So I was looking at it, but I can't do it. Right. So I'll go back to it. So right. Not just that, it's just the audio and the video is disgusting. I just don't want to do it. I promised myself I wouldn't do anything. But yeah, if you want to watch it, Daisy Link, I'm not sure who's covering it, but Law and Crime are covering it. So I'll give you the link to Law and Crime if you do want to go and watch it. It is here. It is there. So if people want to watch, there you go. I'm not sure if there's any streamers covering it, but if there was, I wouldn't promote them anyway, as in that, because I don't know who they are. But Law and Crime direct this. I just can't handle it. Right. Just right. So one last thing about the merch as well. I get it. Some people think that having bitch on your t-shirt and stuff like that is inappropriate. I get it, but the people that are whinging about it, or the person whinging about it, like, it's not cruel to women. If you remember the chat, or if you hear, I call everyone nosy bitches. If you don't like it, then I can't, cheapers. So anyone complaining about it, like, what do I say? Anyone complaining about it?
Fuck off.
Because I literally. That means you've never been to this channel before. You know nothing about this channel. You don't know that my sense of humor or anything like that. I mean zero offense to anybody when I say bitch. Like, it's not a joke for you, obviously, because you are a bitch. But it's unbelievable. Don't call me a nosy bitch. I will call you a nosy bitch because you are a nosy bitch. I'm wearing my fuck 2020 t-shirt today. You can wear whatever the fuck you want. If you don't like it, don't buy it. I'm not pushing this on anybody. But I love when people prompt me.
Hey man, just want to let you know that sometimes you gotta shut the fuck up. You gotta shut the fuck up. And this current time is just one of those times you gotta shut the fuck up. I don't think you're a bad person. I just don't want to hear you talking anymore. You gotta shut the fuck up.
And I am not anti-women, like it's been alluded to, because I call myself a bitch, a nosy bitch. So can we stop with some stupid frigging narratives out there? You don't know anything about this channel if you think calling you a nosy bitch is anything but love. And I don't say the word C-U-N-T, but we found a funny video and it's got the word C-U-N-T in it, and I'm going to play it because I think it's funny. I don't call anyone that. I'm never going to call hippie chick a cunt. I never will call her a cunt. I am calling her a cunt right now, but I never will call her a cunt because I don't technically use that language. But I found a video that I find hilarious where it calls people cunts. I think it's hilarious. But would I go around calling people that? No, I wouldn't. Would I go around calling women bitches? No, I don't. But do I do it here? Yes, because it's funny. And it's only one person that's complained, but it pisses me off when people try to make out it's something it's not. So, and if you've not seen the cunt one, it's funny, and I'll play it again.
Everybody's a bit of a cunt sometimes. Everybody's a bit of a cunt sometimes. We're bastards and we're gits. We're wankers and we're shits. But sometimes that is just one word that absolutely fits. Everybody's a bit of a cunt sometimes. A fact that any Catholic won't deny. I once shagged my girlfriend's sister. My gran's dead. I've never missed her. Ooh, what a cunt. Everybody's a bit of a cunt sometimes.
Seriously, Steve, fuck off.
Everybody's a bit of a cunt sometimes. Everybody's a bit of a cunt sometimes. See the beggar passing by, make a kitty cry. You're in your father's will, when's he gonna fucking die? Everybody's a bit of a cunt sometimes. Don't say you're not, you cunt, because that's a lie.
You're a cunt.
You're a cunt.
You're a cunt. You're a cunt.
You're a cunt.
You're a cunt. You're a cunt.
You're a cunt.
Get rid of the cunt, says Dad.
Cunt.
So yeah, it's a tearing demon. Yeah, I don't say it, but I used to say it. You know, I wouldn't. I would say it as a joke like that. I don't say it as in I wouldn't go, "Oh, you're a cut." Do you know what I mean? But people take offense to the littlest things, jeepers. You know, there's some certain words I wouldn't say, but I mean, who cares? It's a song. Do you know what I mean? Hi, William. I need a link to that See You Next Tuesday video. I don't have a link. I copied it. I think it was on Twitter or something like that. But I wouldn't. The only bad thing about the link is that I can't. The video is that I have to. I get copyrighted, but it's worth it to be copyrighted. So I would rather get copyrighted and not make any ad money and to play these things. So just my opinion. Every content creator is different. I would rather play funny stuff and not make money on it. Sue me. Do you know what I mean? Some content creators wouldn't play that video because so I understand why lots of people don't play music videos, because if you play any kind of music video, then YouTube are gonna banish you. You might not get struck, but they don't like it. So you get out the algorithm. So I would never encourage anybody to play it because I get why people don't play it, because I will now be out the algorithm for playing that. So, and what that means is you don't get shown, you get less ads, and you get all these different things. So, yeah, it's a pain in the ass. So YouTube are fun police. They don't allow you to play these things. And I will get copyrighted for playing that. But what does that make me do? I will play it more. and more, and more, and more. Because if you play once, you don't make any money, so fuck it, I'll do it again. So there you go. That song is going to stay in my head, and I will never be singing it out loud while making dinner tonight. Yes, good, I'm glad. That's supposed to be like, it's supposed to be fun, do you know what I mean? Sorry, I went on a rant, only because some people are so sensitive about stuff. Lisa Hawkins, you're not sensitive, I love it. There you go. Brenda Hopper, well, I found it. There you go, you found it, happy days. Not the C word, nosy bitches is why. Yeah, there you go. But you still a cunt, though, baby chick. So remember, Karen Reid, don't lie. She has a good family with her. Look up, everyone's a bit of a cunt on, and it comes up. I got her on Twitter, but I recorded it, so I don't. That's why I don't have the link. I don't need it. I recorded it, so I got it all the time. So Dennis and taillights don't bite. That's true. Hey, Amy, how are you, my darling? Amy's in the house, so we go play this.
Great dates. Great dates. Great dates.
So Amy's a content creator. So I would always encourage Amy to never play any of my videos because you will get pinged, as in from YouTube. So they are. YouTube can be and sometimes are.
You're a cunt.
You're a cunt.
You're a cunt. You're a cunt.
You're a cunt.
You're a cunt. You're a cunt.
You're a cunt.
They are cunts. So please to never play any of those, Amy. Otherwise, you're gonna get struck. So by fucking YouTube. But yeah, Amy, hello, gotta go. See you later. Thank you, my darling. Amy, Rosie, Amy the Great. There you go. When I don't like something that I played, I just mute it. There you go. Yeah, that's the best way. That's the best way. Morning, Rhonda. How are you? From Robin G. Happy birthday. Sorry. Hi, Amy. Hi, everyone. Hey, Tracy V. How are you, my darling? How are you, my darling? Hope you're doing well. It's nice to see you. I've not seen you for a while now. Now, you'll appreciate this as well. I know that, Tracy V, just a little something for Tracy. I know we played it. We'll play it again.
Great dates. Great dates. Great dates.
Tracy appreciates that. There you go, my darling. Crazy week last week. Hi, Amy. Hi, Tracy V. Dennis. It's been a week, babe. Good morning, Amy. Good to see you. Hope things are well. There you go. Yes, so there you are. Anyway, that's the mini rant out the way. If anyone else wants to say something, you
Hey
can.
man, just want to let you know that sometimes you gotta shut the fuck up. You gotta shut the fuck up. And this current time is just one of those times you gotta shut the fuck up. I don't think you're a bad person. I just don't want to hear you talking anymore. You gotta shut the fuck up.
If you don't, this is hypocrite.
Guess what? You're a bitch.
You're a bitch if you complain. Right. I love you too, Amy. Thank you, my darling. Dennis, much better. There you go. Happy days, everyone. Let's all be nice and good. See you later, Yaya. Take care of yourself, my darling. Right. Let's get this up. Where is it? I've lost the video now. Shit. I'll have to go back here somewhere. Is it here? No, not that one. Let me go back here to the... Where's it gone? Oh, here we go. All right, I need to find it again. So this is a 4-year-old. Just remember, a 4-year-old allegedly killed by her mother. We shall see what this says here now. Hang on, let me do this, share this, put that there, that in there. It's a sidebar, so I will try and skip Jesse because I hate Jesse. And when they talk about stuff, I hate it. So, anyway.
These are the last moments that 4-year-old Aria Talathi was heard alive before police say her...
I hope it goes well, yeah. I'm sorry to hear that. I hope you get it fixed, my darling.
Her mother, pediatrician Dr. Neha Gupta, killed her, allegedly smothering this little girl and staging her death to look like an accidental drowning. We are going to break down what we are seeing in this newly released surveillance footage with a retired NYPD detective to understand what this will mean for the investigation. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. You may remember the case of 4-year-old Aria Talathi, who was tragically found dead in the backyard pool of a Florida rental home in late June of 2025. Her mother, Dr. Neha Gupta, an Oklahoma pediatrician, she's accused of smothering her daughter and staging the scene. The reason we are talking about this story once again, the reason we are revisiting the story, is because there is newly released surveillance footage that shows this little girl, shows Aria in the final days of her life, moments that until now we hadn't been able to see or hear. Newly released surveillance footage obtained by Law and Crime captures what looks like an ordinary mother-daughter beach trip. Again, moments now cast in a chilling new light. And just days after this footage was recorded, this little girl was found dead at the same home. If you've been following Sidebar, you will remember this case. Dr. Neha Gupta, this pediatrician at the center of what is arguably one of the most shocking child deaths in recent memory that we've covered here on the show. And you might also remember this, the dramatic moment that U.S. Marshals showed up to arrest her in her Oklahoma home on July 1st, 2025.
Police with a warrant! Open the door! Do it now! Let's go. Come to the door! Hands! Hands! Come out! Contact on the ground. Come here.
Now here's the thing. Okay, this is what's interesting. Gupta was initially charged with first-degree murder, but since then a lot has changed. It was first downgraded to aggravated manslaughter, and then it was elevated back to a murder charge. Okay, we're going to get into all of that. And we're going to break down what we're seeing for the very first time in this newly released surveillance footage in just a moment. But first, how do we get here, right? What is going on? What's the context? So according to an arrest warrant, police were called around 3:41 a.m. on June 27, 2025 to a short-term rental property in El Portal, Florida. This is outside the Miami area. And this is after a call came in from Gupta reporting that her 4-year-old daughter had drowned. The warrant reads, officers observed AT, hereinafter referred to as the deceased victim, unresponsive and submerged in the deep end of the swimming pool. MDFR personnel extracted the deceased victim from the pool and began cardiopulmonary resuscitation. The victim was pronounced deceased at 4:28 a.m. Now, Gupta told investigators that she had been sleeping beside her daughter, woke up, found her missing. She claimed that the sliding glass door to the pool had somehow been opened and that she tried to save her daughter, but couldn't because she couldn't swim. Remember that she couldn't swim. The warrant quotes her saying she attempted to remove the victim from the pool. However, she was unsuccessful due to the fact that she's unable to swim. We will come back to that detail later. But that is the version of the story that Gupta apparently told authorities. The autopsy in this case tells a very different story. Why? The doctor, the Miami-Dade medical examiner, found that there was no water in Aria's lungs or stomach. The report also documented cuts inside of her mouth and bruising on her cheeks, so injuries not consistent with CPR, according to this medical professional, but consistent with asphyxiation by smothering. In the medical examiner's words, quote, the deceased victim was deceased prior to being placed into the swimming pool. And that finding transformed a tragic accident report into a homicide investigation. Now, if you're a fan of Sidebar, you know we cover a lot of cases, you know we put out a lot of clips a day, and I will tell you, if you are thinking about how to build up your social media, grow your audience. So give it a try for yourself. Go to opus.pro/sidebar to start creating your own videos today. Gupta was arrested July 1st at her Oklahoma City home. This is days after the medical examiner's findings. Body cam video that was obtained by Law and Crime shows the U.S. Marshals forcing their way into her house, where they eventually found Gupta hiding in a laundry room.
Police with a warrant! Open the door! Do it now! Let's go. Come to the door! Turn around. Last come up with breach. She just went back to the house. Breach. Oh. Neha Gupta, come to the front door! Do it now! The U.S. Marshals! Marshals, we have a warrant for your arrest. Come to the front door. Do it now.
We saw her. Back. Where did she go?
Let's go to the garage, right?
Watch the east side. East side of the house.
We got y'all's light over here.
Wraps around us.
Yeah.
You want us to move up? You got that. Let's push and see what's on the right side.
This closet.
Closet. So,
Clear.
Okay. Yes, it does kind of come back around. So just hold what you got there.
partially open the door all the way down to the home.
Does that go out to the garage right there?
Yep.
Hey, we're gonna clear this garage, so back up a little bit, will you? I'm hungry. Okay. It's unlocked. We'll go ahead and open that and we'll maybe we'll go through this. You ready for this? Yeah, I'm ready.
Nope. Okay. I guess we kind of remember what's on it. If it's a lock or something.
Still no contact with target. They will just start him to have come this way.
Hey, we're opening up these garage doors. Opening up the garage doors.
We're clear outside.
Shut the here. Hands! Hands! Come out! Contact on the ground. Come here.
Stand up. Keep clearing the rest of this and get her out.
She hasn't been checked. You good? Or take her. Do you want to help him?
She was taken into custody, extradited to Florida. She first appeared in court on July 18th, where prosecutors argued the evidence pointed to an intentional and premeditated act, while Gupta's attorney called the charge premature, claimed that Arya's death was accidental, a tragedy, that it wasn't a crime, accused investigators of rushing to judgment. But the judge referenced the medical examiner's findings.
Her lungs were dry, indicating she did not drown. So for purposes of this probable cause hearing, there is probable cause. In addition, she waited 10 minutes before she purportedly called 911 for help.
And Gupta was denied bond. And now this is where we return to the new evidence, okay? And to help me break it down, I want to bring on special guest, friend of the show, Tom Smith, retired NYPD detective and co-host of the Gold Shield Show. Good to see you, sir. Thanks for taking the time to come in. When you arrive at a scene like this, and I don't know if you've ever arrived at a scene like this, I hope you never did, but how do you differentiate between an accident, right, an accidental death, and a potential homicide?
Well, when you first show up, you're not. Your very first thing is to aid the victim, or whatever needs to be done when it comes to the victim is what you're doing first. Getting that taken care of, getting an ambulance there, getting whatever aid is necessary to take care of that victim. And then later on, when detectives arrive and statements start going, what did you first observe? What did you first see? That's when it starts to break down of how it happened or what the circumstances were surrounding it.
Can you tell from a scene, not even speaking anyway, from a scene itself, the physical evidence of the scene, can you tell whether something was tampered with? Can you tell whether something was staged? Can you tell if something doesn't add up? And what are those clues?
Yeah, and it depends on where it is. Like a room, a bedroom. Yeah, you could take a snapshot look at it and see, what's moved, what's broken, what's not. An outdoor scene like this with just a swimming pool, very difficult.
Autopsy findings, are they the end-all be-all? Have you ever disagreed with an autopsy finding based on your own investigation?
No, absolutely not. They're the experts. That's their world. That's what they're educated and paid to do. And I haven't ran into one that I disagreed with. There's ones that you get that you question more, like, hey, tell me more about it. Tell me how this didn't happen or how your findings conclude this. Those conversations take place. But just to say, no, that wasn't what I thought, no.
When I tell you there is an absence of water in this little girl's lungs, what does it tell you?
Absolutely did not drown. I mean, no doubt about it. That was actually the first thing I looked up when it came to this case, was what were the autopsy findings when it came to her lungs, her trachea, anything like that. And the absence of any water in there takes away the whole drowning part.
Regarding the surveillance footage, which we're going to get into, generally speaking, how important is surveillance footage in a case like this, particularly footage that leads up to some sort of event? How much does it tell you about what a person's thinking or doing or their actions, their mannerisms? What are you looking for?
Oh, a lot. The interactions between the two, conversations between the two, what's said by each party. Those are dramatic when it comes to leading the course of an investigation of a direction you want to go in, because of just it's family. Things are just going on at a normal, natural pace. And that's what you want to see. And you want to try to get the little snippets of maybe something bad being said or one small little action that was done that leads to, a terrible event like this.
And though a lot of people, I'm not saying in this case, but a lot of people, they don't even realize that they're on tape, right? They don't even realize they're on surveillance tape.
Right. And it's their own house.
Yeah. Well, and but that's a good point. I mean, we see that a lot. But even the Mark Sanchez case, totally different situation. But, that footage, there's probably multiple footage, both of the attack, the alleged attack, and then him walking around. There's cameras everywhere, and it captures everything. So I would imagine, in a way, solving a crime, trying to figure out what happened is easier today than it was 20 years ago.
Oh, dramatically easier. Yeah. I wouldn't say easier, but it's the technology today helps investigations go on. The presence of video cameras, like you said, is everywhere. If it's not in a store, or it's not in the corner of a building, it's on a traffic light. It's on someone's ring, on their front door. It is endless what the coverage is of surveillance technology today.
So at first she's charged with a first-degree murder charge, and this is interesting but then a month later, prosecutors downgraded that to aggravated manslaughter. But by August 13th, prosecutors reinstated a murder charge. This time it was second degree. So it seems they're still saying the evidence supports that this girl was smothered, that the scene was staged. Have you seen a back and forth like that on charges?
Well, you know what? Here's what I want to say about that. And me and you have had this discussion. You have asked me on other shows, what takes so long when there's an investigation going on to come up with what charge you're going to charge someone? This is exactly why. Because if you jump too quick, this is what happens. And now the prosecution looks horrible. Detectives are kind of in the middle of this because they probably know what should be charged, but then it's up to the DAs to do it. And it affects the jurors out there. You know, jurors during a trial aren't supposed to watch the news or read the paper, whatever, but beforehand in your own life, you're going to. So now you see, is the prosecution really on the right track? Is it right? Is it wrong? What are they doing? So that's why I always said to you that the more time you take with going through it methodically and making sure you do this once and one time and you're right about it, this is exactly why.
How much do investigators influence prosecutorial decisions on charges?
It depends on the relationship you have. You know, most detectives and DAs have great relationships because you're dealing with the same ones all the time. It's kind of one team. And that's why that relationship is so important, because each of you need to rely on your opinions and your experiences of what you saw, what your gut feeling is, but then you can't go gut into the law. Then the law has to take over. You know, so it's a back and forth, but the relationship there is very, very important to each other's experience.
So you're saying Law and Order is real? It's accurate?
Yeah. I mean, we've had, and you know what? It's not always on the right page. You know, you've had disagreements. Why are you doing this? Why aren't you doing this?
Oh, I meant the show.
Yeah.
It's accurate.
That happens because, you know, you're after two different things.
Yeah.
You know, in the law enforcement world, the detective's job is to lock up the bad guy.
Yeah.
You know, in the law, they have to prosecute him and put him in jail. Those are two different worlds.
Yeah.
But they kind of come to an agreement in the middle. But inevitably, at the end, the law is always gonna take over.
Okay, let's talk about this surveillance footage because it's odd. This is odd. There were cameras at this rental property, and it captures Dr. Neha Gupta on June 25th and the 26th. So this is the final days before this little girl's death. The footage we obtained shows this 4-year-old in what is just little ordinary moments with her mother at this short-term rental property before authorities say she was found dead in the backyard pool. In the footage, you can see who police say is Gupta pulling up to that El Portal home in her car on June 25th, then stepping out with her daughter. You can even hear Aria's voice here. You see her again in this video where Gupta appears to walk to her car, grab the bags. Later, she's seen bringing in a suitcase, and you can still hear the little girl's voice in the background. That evening, a food delivery arrives. The next afternoon, there was a diaper change. Later, Gupta is seen carrying the tired-out girl inside. I will tell you, this would be the last time that Aria was seen alive, because the next morning, this is now June 27th, flashing lights, first responders arrive, and finally, the heartbreaking scene, her body being taken out on a stretcher. Tom, I think that this is important footage. What does it tell you, though? Because it seems just so ordinary. And if you think about what she's accused of doing, is there anything in there that is a clue?
No, that's what I said before. You know, video footage is great. You know, you're always looking for video footage on the detective side to find something wrong, but that's not always the case. You know, like I said, it's normal interaction that you see on these videos between a mother and her daughter, and hearing her voice, oh, "Mommy, I'll help you with the bag." You know, just there's no animosity there. There's no violent tendencies there. There's no yelling. There's none of that. So sometimes the video of what you're kind of looking for, because you know the end result, you know the event that took place. And when you start looking at videos and none of that is on there, then you have to go to the next step.
But it does provide a timeline.
Yes, very important. You are absolutely right about that. Timelines when it comes to these are very important because you could get statements from the people that are involved and those get murky and cloudy and kind of on top of each other. When you have a definitive timeline because of video, that certainly helps out.
But this could help defense attorneys, right? In the sense, like, if this is a woman who's accused of murdering her daughter, do you see anything on this tape that would indicate this is something that was about to happen, or if she has the ability to do this? I mean, in the tape, you could argue she's caring for her daughter.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And listen, defense attorneys have a job to do, and that's to defend their client. And a video like this is certainly going to help out.
Now, through her attorney, Gupta maintains her innocence, insisting that her daughter's death was accidental, that it was a tragedy, it wasn't a crime, accusing investigators of rushing to judgment. But Tom, I want to talk about this now. I want to talk about one detail from a past interview of Gupta's. I don't know if you saw this. It is raising some eyebrows, okay? We found this video that is circulating on YouTube from November 18th, 2022, where a medical virtual discussion on research that Gupta had published, she was asked to share a fun fact about herself. Here's what she said.
I love adventure sports, so I guess not a lot of people know about that. So I love scuba diving, snorkeling.
Scuba diving and snorkeling. Remember earlier we told everybody that according to police, she said she couldn't swim. That's why she couldn't save her daughter. I mean, per the warrant, the subject stated she attempted to remove the victim from the pool. However, she was unsuccessful due to the fact that she's unable to swim. What do you make of that?
That's a problem.
Yeah.
Your words come back to haunt you sometimes when you're not thinking, obviously, in the future of what might take place, and you're just giving an interview and being truthful in that interview about things you like, things you can do, events that you go to, that you snorkel and swim and everything. And then later on, it's going to come back to haunt you. And this is a problem for her.
It's like riding a bike, right? Like once you know how to swim, once you're in, it's not like you lose that ability unless there's some sort of tragic, traumatic physical injury where you no longer can swim. Is this common where you see people making statements, maybe particularly online, particularly on social media, that come back to bite them and it contradicts something that they say later on?
Sure. We bust on social media a lot in certain things, and sometimes it works and sometimes it helps out investigations when things like this occur. And let's get something straight, Jess, she's not swimming the English Channel. She's not swimming in the Atlantic Ocean. She's jumping into a pool, grabbing a body that's probably 40 pounds or so and getting it out of the water. And it's your daughter. All right. You would move heaven and earth to take care of one of your kids and try to do everything you could for one of your kids. And the excuse of I can't swim when you're not really swimming is her defense in this is going to cause a problem.
Now, something else that I want to bring up with you are custody issues. Okay, custody issues that were uncovered. So investigators also learned that Gupta was in the middle of a bitter custody battle with her ex-husband, Dr. Sarab Talafi, who says that he had no idea that she had taken their daughter out of Oklahoma. Court records show he'd been granted temporary sole custody after claiming Gupta interfered with Aria's medical care and exhibited erratic behavior. He even petitioned the court for a psychological evaluation, citing, quote, unreasonable mood swings and concern for the child's safety. When I say that, how seriously do investigators look at that? How do they weigh prior concerns about erratic behavior or interference with medical care? Is it related to this case?
Yes, it's a major part of the investigation. And I've said it all the time, interviews are so vital when it comes to family members, past history, things you've done in the past. And when it comes to custody battles, you nailed it. There is so many things that come out when interviews are done, when there's specific custody battles going on about the way people are. Behind closed doors or behind cameras, people are different. So that's where you really get into the integral parts of a relationship when you're dealing and talking to an ex-spouse or a spouse about their actions, statements they've made, anything like that is going to be a big part in this.
Well, Dr. Neha Gupta remains behind bars in Miami-Dade County. She's awaiting trial on that second-degree murder charge, and court records show that she's due back in court on November 13th. For a status hearing. We are obviously going to keep following every development as it unfolds because this is a case that is constantly changing and evolving, and we're still trying to understand exactly what happened to this little girl. Tom Smith, good to see you. Thanks so much for taking the time.
Always a pleasure.
Objection, Your
And
Honor.
that is all we have for you right now. Here.
Lack of foundation calls for speculation. Unintelligible. I don't understand.
This is what happens with Sarah P's now, yeah. I mute myself. Oh, that is... Yeah, that's what they're claiming, Sean. Yes. It's very sad. Do you know what I mean? All these things are very sad. Anything to do with children is very sad. But fuck's sakes. But Bex, hello to you, Bex. Nice to see you, my darling. Nice. I didn't think it was appropriate to play the video whilst that was going on, but I can now.
You're a cunt. You're a cunt.
You are a cunt. You're a cunt.
You're a cunt. You're a cunt. You're a cunt. You're a cunt.
I will check it out. Before I don't know. What was it here? I'm on it. There you go. There you go. Happy days. You see, some people actually could take a fucking joke, like, you know. Well, it's not a joke when it comes to Bex, but you know what I mean. Hang on. Hang on. Right, hang on. I see a couple of things here. So, whilst I get that video right, I have done as she's not here now. Lady Di requested it. I have done the back merch as well. So when she comes back in, that's the merch store. Right, hang on a minute. I shouldn't play that right now because I don't know much about this case. So, right, hang on. Here we go. This is this? Yeah, this is Kashkin, and so. Hello, Terry. How are you, my darling?
Watch this 4-year-old being kidnapped out of his bed as he sleeps next to his twin brother. These are twins Cash and Carter Garner, who lived in Dallas, Texas in 2021. The boys are seen sleeping in bed when a man comes in the middle of the night, stands outside of their bed, and seems to consider what he's trying to do. He looks at them both, and then he bends over and snatches 4-year-old Cash out of his bed. Cash is never seen alive again. The same man returns hours later to look at Carter, his twin brother, who's left in the bed. But for some reason, he decides to walk away. Carter then wakes up. He's looking around for his brother, but he doesn't find him. So he stumbles off, trying to see where he went to. Within the hour, a neighbor finds the body of 4-year-old Cash Garner lying in the street with multiple stab wounds. It turns out that the father of the twins, by the name of Trevor Garner, left his sons in the care of his girlfriend while he says he went to find work in Houston. But sources say he was later wanted on drug charges. While living with Trevor's girlfriend, Monica, sources say she allowed all kinds of shady characters into her house. One of which was 18-year-old Darren Brown. Darren had recently broke into a different house and attempted to kidnap a different toddler, but thankfully that toddler's grandfather was there to stop him from taking his granddaughter. Even though Darren physically fought with the grandfather, he decided he didn't want to press charges on Darren. And you see what happened. Darren was free to break into this home and murder a 4-year-old boy. After police saw this surveillance footage, Monica was able to identify Darren Brown, and he was arrested, interrogated, and charged with kidnapping, burglary, and capital murder. It took years to determine if Darren was mentally fit to stand trial. But this year, in January of 2025, doctors determined that he could not plead insanity and he would face murder charges. What do you think of this story?
That is so ridiculous. What the? That is so scary. I mean, what the fuck? What is... Hang on, I'll get some more stuff here. Hang on. That is so sickening. And the fact that we could see it. Do you know what I mean? You just want to reach in and just fucking punch the guy. Leave the child alone.
So there's been some additional information come out in the Cash Gernon case that has truly gripped the nation. The horrendous murder of Cash at the hands of 18-year-old Darian Brown in Dallas, Texas. This footage is from the security camera at the home of next-door neighbor Jose Alvarado. And we can see Darian casing the home some 10 weeks before he would abduct Cash and attempt to abduct his brother. The boys had been staying with Monica Sherrod, the ex-girlfriend of their father, Trevor. Now, Trevor had left several months earlier at the beginning of the year and had left these boys in the custody of Monica, who had been taking, for all intents and purposes that we know, very good care of the boys. Children that were not hers, but that she has said that she feels like are her children. Even the boys' biological mother did not know where they were, and only because of this horrific crime finally knew their whereabouts and that their father was no longer with them. The children of Monica, who had a large family already, consider the boys their siblings. Now, Cash's brother has been reunited with his biological mother, and Cameron Morey, Monica's son, gave a tour of the area and explained exactly what happened in the home that night that young Cash Gernon was snatched directly out of his bed before dying horrifically.
The door is broke right here, as you can see. It doesn't have a latch on it, so we use a chain now to lock it up. And that's where he came in. He lifted the door up, and right here, as you can see, it's been kicked in or tampered with, if you would call it. And he made his way through here while we were all asleep. Quiet, I guess. I don't know why nobody heard him around here. And then into here, this is where the boys slept. This is where they were sleeping that night. He slept in the bed. He just came in, just stood over him, just watched him. The cameras are here, directly at the crib, watching. They just picked him up, took him back that way, carried him, just like carried him. Brought him back this way and just took him back out that way. And from there,
this new footage would certainly seem to give the notion of premeditated murder on the part of Mr. Brown, and no doubt the police are busy building their case. As I hear more, you will. Thank you for watching, everybody, and let's keep this family in our prayers. Thank you.
Oh, I think we could say, yeah, that's good. Unless they got other cameras they're not showing us, do you know what I mean? There might be other camera angles they're not showing us. That's the only reason I can think how he would know so much. That is some shit stuff. Right. Hello, lovely. Right, so this is him in court yesterday, I think, well, apparently. But always be published yesterday anyway, so.
Yes, ma'am.
Madam Court Reporter. We are going to go on the record in cause number F21-75987, styled the state of Texas versus Darian Ronell Brown. Is that your name, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a United States citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
You're charged by indictment with the offense of capital murder. The state has filed a motion asking that I strike certain language and reduce this case to a first-degree felony of murder, which I granted. That makes your range of punishment anywhere between 5 years up to 99 years or life in prison. You understand the offense you're charged with and the range of punishment you now face.
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you read, did your attorney explain, and did you understand everything you signed today in connection with this case, including the court's written admonishments regarding your statutory and constitutional rights and the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
You have an absolute right to a jury trial, which we are set for today, but it is my understanding that you want to waive and give up that right today to enter a plea of guilty. Is that in fact what you want to do?
Yes, Your Honor.
How are you doing so? Waiving your right to a jury trial, both knowingly and voluntarily.
Yes, Your Honor.
You may arraign your client.
Judge, we'll waive reading of the indictment and enter a plea of guilty to the lesser included offense of murder, Your Honor.
Your attorney has pled guilty on your behalf to the lesser included offense. Is that in fact your plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you pleading guilty because you are guilty and for no other reason?
Yes, Your Honor.
State?
State up the State's Exhibit 1 to be the signed written voluntary judicial confession and stipulation of evidence, and State's Exhibit 2, the Michael Warren paperwork.
No objection, Your Honor.
As opposed to offering State's Exhibits 1 and 2, do you want the court to take judicial notice of them? Any objection from the defense?
No objection, Your Honor.
The court will take notice. State rests.
Defense also rests and closed, Judge.
Do you believe your client is mentally competent?
I do, Your Honor.
And is there any reason in law that he cannot now be sentenced?
There is not. Judge, just out of abundance of caution,
I say about struck about just in case I'll cover this quickly. The videos I played, like the cunt videos, the bitch videos, and all that. I was just saying, don't play them because you get copyright. You get struck for them. So I was just saying to you, if you ever played one of those, I suggest to not play them, unless you don't mind not being the algorithm. Those videos, essentially, being that you get issues with YouTube, and the cunt video, that is, I get struck for that. Yes, so that's what I mean about playing the videos. If you're monetized, don't play any of my videos in the sense of, those type of videos. I was just because I want to make that clear, just in case people think that I play them and I don't get copyright. I do get copyrighted. So if you're monetized, they restrict you. You get shadow ban and stuff. So yeah. So Mexi's back in the house. If you go back a little bit, you'll see him, Mex.
Just want to make sure I want to call him briefly just for an admonishment on the plea itself.
That is fine. Mr. Brown, if you could raise your right hand to be sworn. Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you can put your hand down. Proceed when you're ready, Mr.
Thank you, Judge. Now, Darren, you understand that we're in trial today, right?
Yes.
And initially, we had planned to go forward on the insanity defense, right?
Yes.
We really believed that we could win on the insanity defense, right?
Yes.
But after looking at some of the evidence, some of the other doctors' reports and things of that nature, you decided that you wanted to accept responsibility and plead guilty to murder. Is that correct?
Yes.
And you understand we could still go to trial, right?
Yes.
But that's not what you want to do.
That's not what I want to do.
Okay. And again, this is a decision that we talked about, and this is how you want to handle your case.
Yes.
All right. That's all I have to say.
Then the court will accept your plea of guilty, and I find you guilty of the first-degree felony offense of murder as included in the indictment. It is hereby the order, judgment, and decree of this court that you be taken by the Dallas County Sheriff and safely there held until your transfer to the institutional division of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice, where you will serve a life sentence. That sentence is imposed to begin today, but you will get credit for your back time, and the court will make an affirmative finding in this case of a deadly weapon, to it a knife. Is that the plea agreement as you understood it?
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
I followed your plea agreement, you have effectively waived your right of appeal, and the court has received a copy of the trial court certification regarding your right of appeal. It bears your signature, indicating you went over it with your attorney. So that will conclude these proceedings. We are off the record, and we're prepared for victim impact at this time.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. You may be seated,
Just
Mr.
have a
Brown.
seat.
We have three, Your Honor. Proceed when you're ready, State.
This is from
I mean, I don't disagree with everyone saying has he got mental disability? There's something. Do you know what I mean? And that's probably why they went for the insanity plea. Do you know what I mean? It's this. Yeah, he's very softly spoken and stuff.
Patty C. Rhodes, who is currently the grandmother and custodian to the remaining twin Carter Vernon. This message is for Darian Brown. We were asked to write a victim impact statement so that we, the family, could explain how what you did has affected us, how it has affected the children, Carter, Abigail, and Ashlyn, his incredibly strong siblings. First of all, I just want to say that I hope that you seek God while you're in prison, because you need him worse than anyone I've ever known in my life. You need to truly seek forgiveness from him, because whether or not the family forgives you doesn't matter, but God's forgiveness does. He will be the one to determine where your soul ends up. There are no words to describe the pain that you have brought onto our family. Cash's brother has suffered unimaginable pain, as we all have, a pain that no one should ever have to feel, especially at 4 years old. You have caused him, Carter, an agonizing hurt that will never go away. He longs to have his brother here to play with, to experience life with. He was very close with his twin brother. They never got to experience the first day of kindergarten together because you took Cash's life before he was ever able to even step foot in a school. Because of you, he'll never know what it's like to have a girlfriend or drive a car for the first time or graduate high school or college. He'll never get to know what it's like to get married to the girl of his dreams or have a beautiful child to carry on his legacy. Instead, all there is a memory of what a beautiful, loving, funny little boy he was. And that's something you won't ever take away. Every single day, I imagine what Cash would look like and what it would be like for his brother to have him here. We suffer from your disgusting, hateful, and horrid act of violence every single day. Again, the pain of what you did won't ever go away. And if I had it my way, you would never see the light of day again, and you would suffer the same fate that you have brought on Cash. Your mother, who you have also victimized in this, would have to feel the exact same pain that we're feeling, but I'm not the judge in all of this. I'm just an extended victim. Just know you didn't kill Cash because, while he may not be here physically, he will live in our hearts forever. He will forever live in a place that you probably won't ever get to see. And when you tell your mom that you love her at the end of your video calls, please remember that Cash won't ever get to say I love you to his mom again. The pain of losing her child has been so unbearable that she can barely function, if you even want to call it functioning. You have destroyed her. Your victim list is very long because there are so many people that love Cash. God says that his vengeance is his, and I don't think he'll be letting you get away with what you did. His punishment will be far worse than anything we can dish out to you, and I hope you hear the name Cash ring out every day in your head and it haunts you for the rest of your natural life. I hope you never get to leave prison unless it's in a body bag, and I hope you rot in there. It is with great sorrow that I stand before this honorable court today, prepared to address the monster that has single-handedly altered the course of so many lives. My name is Trevor Gernon, the father of Cash Gernon and the victim of your heinous, cowardly act. What I hope to achieve by making this statement is twofold. First, that you will recognize my son, Cash Gernon, as a person, a human being, loved, valued, innocent, and not an item to be discarded. Second, I want to brand your memory with the name of my son, Cash Gernon, so you never forget he gave his life to ensure that you will never again have the opportunity to victimize another innocent member of society. What I'm forced to do today, no parent should have to do, but you defile the sanctity of our family.
And as a father, I'm obligated to advocate for my son, Cash Gernon, so I stand prepared to be his voice and zealously defend his memory. My son, Cash Gernon, was the apple of my eye. He was my legacy, the continuation of the Gernon line, which you have shattered. Your cowardly act has reduced me to a fraction of my former self, and all that remains is a hollow shell of a man fueled by the guilt of failing to protect my child. This statement is my son's defense and should be communicated a clear message. As a father, I would have given my life defending his. And from this day forward, my life will be spent carrying his memory in a way that will impact the lives of others. Initially, I was in favor of the death penalty, but my son's death wasn't painless or humane. You made sure of that, so now I'm opposed to you having the option to leave this.
So Wicked, Ali Reese, Wicked, yes. So he's just pleaded guilty. He took a plea deal. So he's been reduced. He's pleaded to murder one. He can get between 5 years and 99 years. So that's what this is about. It happened yesterday. So he's saying, yes, I don't want a trial. I'm pleading guilty. So for that, some of the lessers are taken away. So that's why they're doing it right now. Hello, Patricia. Hope you're doing well, my darling. Yes, that's what it was. I mean, I do it because I love it. If people don't want to watch, that's fine. The people who want to hang out, oh, absolutely. I listen. You know, it is. But I just wanted to warn you, just in case, because like I've spoken to YouTube, and they frown upon anyone, even though they might not copyright you for something. They frown upon swearing and stuff like that. Like, so yeah, I just don't want to get into any trouble. That's all. So yeah, I don't mind it. You know, I don't mind the viewers, but it would sometimes be nice to get a lot more viewers. But it is what it is.
World without first living out the days that you stole from my son Cash. You do not deserve the opportunity to circumvent responsibility or leave this world prematurely as my son did. I trust that the Texas Department of Criminal Justice will enforce the sentence imposed by this court and house you accordingly. There is a cage that awaits you at a maximum security prison, and that cage will function as the only home you know from this day forward. After my release, I will rest assured knowing my tax dollars are being well spent preventing you from ever rejoining society. I can only hope that you decide in the name of my son Cash to do something meaningful and productive with the remainder of your life. And then and only then can the atoning process begin as you await the afterlife. In conclusion, the Christian in me hopes that God will have mercy upon you, but the Father in me prays that this court shows you none. Now my son Cash can rest peacefully, knowing that his loved ones will have closure and the healing process can begin. And finally, this is a statement from Cash's grandmother, Connie. On May 15th, 2021, my daughter and I received a phone call from the Dallas Police Department. They told us that they had Carter, my daughter's 4-year-old son, my grandson. They said he needed to be picked up, and I remember how hysterical my daughter was when they told her they had Carter, Cash's twin brother. But they didn't mention anything about Cash. I asked about Cash, but I received no answer. I knew deep down that something was very wrong. Moments after that, I received a notification on my phone about a child that was found dead on the street in a Dallas neighborhood, and my heart sank. My gut told me it could be Cash, and that was why the police didn't mention anything. Little did I know that was the moment our lives would never be the same. The 3-hour drive to Dallas with my daughter seemed like an eternity. I kept looking at my phone and reading about the child that was dead, wondering if it could be my grandson. I had to remain calm for my daughter because I didn't want her to know. Those were the longest 3 hours of my life. The more I read online, the more real it became that this child was our Cash. I just knew it. We arrived at the police station in Dallas and sat in a room for what seemed like hours, and nobody would talk to us. When the detective entered the room, everything became quiet, and she said the words that would change our lives forever. Cash is no longer with us. Our little boy was gone, murdered in the most horrific way unimaginable. Everything stood still for a moment, and the impact of those words started to sink in. My heart broke into a million pieces. My daughter screamed, and there was nothing I could do for her to ease that pain. Cash was 4 years old. He was just a little boy full of life who loved his twin brother and his sisters. He was happy and brought so much joy into our lives.
I loved watching him play with his siblings. I can still see him running around my yard, laughing and yelling and playing on the swing set. He was so happy. You took him from us without a thought in your mind. You took him in the most horrific way possible. Why? I asked myself what your reasoning was. Our lives are forever changed, and Cash's siblings' lives are forever changed. What did this innocent child do for you to do this to him? Just thinking about the horror he went through makes me want to scream. I hate you with every part of my being. You murdered our little boy, stabbing him over and over again, and left him lying on the street like he was garbage. Cash will never have a first day of school, or graduate, or go to his high school prom, or to college. He'll never get to have children or a family of his own. You took that from him. The days after this were surreal. Planning a funeral, comforting siblings, consoling his mom, and trying to hold it all together was the hardest thing I've ever had to do. My world was shattered, and to this day I'm still suffering from the terrible loss and grief you have caused. Not only did I lose my sweet grandson Cash 4 years ago, but I also lost my daughter in the process. Her heart is broken, and she is devastated because of what you've done. Since that horrific day when you so cruelly murdered our little boy, my daughter has been lost. Unable to process the death of Cash, she's abandoned her other children. Our relationship is broken, and she's living in a world with no direction. I miss her, and her children miss her. I don't know how to help her get out of the darkness. You created this. You took a truly innocent life, destroyed my daughter, and tore our family apart. I don't know if my daughter will ever find her way back to us. I want you to suffer the way you made Cash suffer. I want you to be locked up for the rest of your life, and every time you close your eyes, I hope you see Cash's little face and his innocent eyes before you took the life out of him. I wish you nothing but misery.
That will conclude these proceedings. Thank you.
Oh, wow. That sickens me, you know. That sickens me. 2 seconds. Let's play this.
Ready to order?
My wife's at the toilet.
Any idea what she's having?
Well, she's been a while, so probably a shit.
Ready to order?
My wife's at the toilet.
Any idea what she's having?
Well, she's been a while, so probably a shit.
Rest in peace, Cash. Absolutely lovely. Absolutely, my darling. I know that lots of you liked this last time. So I'll play you this. So this is a case in the UK. And obviously we can't show trials, but we can show the sentences and stuff. So so there's a couple who murdered their 2-year-old grandson, and they've been jailed. Michael Ives and Kerry Ives, 47 and 46 respectively, they were both found guilty of his murder and cruelty to a child after a life at Mold Crown Court, and were handed minimum terms of 23 years and 17 years respectively. Ethan Ives Griffiths was dangerously dehydrated, severely underweight, and had 40 visible bruises or marks when he collapsed with a catastrophic head injury at his grandparents' home in Flintshire in Wales in August 2021. Ethan's mother, Shannon Ives, 28, who had been staying with her son at her parents' home, was found guilty of causing or allowing the death and child cruelty. She received a 12-year sentence. So this is the sentencing. I'll play it because I know some of you like to hear the UK court system. So they haven't sentenced him yet, Lisa. They haven't sentenced him yet. It's going to be between 5 and 99 years. 5 and 99 years. What happened to the Amish trial? There's no trial yet, lovely. That was a hearing he had about whether they were allowed to use his confession or not. judgment on it. The trial itself begins on December the 8th. December the 8th, it starts. Actually, thinking about this hearing, is 50 minutes long. It's too long for you lot. You're going to be... I'll play you this instead. There's another one I will play for you now. This next one is about two teenagers who were found guilty of killing a 15-year-old boy in a gang-related machete attack in London. So I'll play that. This is 20 minutes, so I'll play you this instead. Bear with me whilst I try and sort it out. So yeah, so we don't know what's happened that one. Right.
At shortly after 6:30 in the evening on Sunday, the 22nd of September of last year.
You're welcome, Lisa.
In broad daylight, the life of 15-year-old DeJean Campbell was snuffed out when he was stabbed to death on a street in Woolwich. His fatal wounds were inflicted by you, Imre Due, with a large machete with which you had quite deliberately armed yourself, as you admitted to the jury that you had done hundreds of times before. You were convicted of DeJean's murder by the jury, who rejected your false assertion that you were acting in lawful self-defense. You, Marco Ballas, were convicted of manslaughter on the basis that you encouraged and or assisted Imre Due to stab DeJean, but without the requisite intent for murder. There is no question that was the jury's findings, because that was how I directed them in the route to verdict.
Yes.
You are both here today to be sentenced for your...
So in the UK, all the judges and attorneys all wear wigs. It's traditional. Barristers and stuff. That is traditional. It's what we do. It's been like that for centuries. So yeah, all judges and all barristers, we call attorneys barristers, basically. So yeah, they all, male and female, all wear wigs. So that's why I like to play some of these things, because people don't know that. So I like it.
Involvement in DeJean's killing. You, Imre Due, are also here for possession of the machete, which was the murder weapon. You, Marco Ballas, are also to be sentenced for drugs offences. DeJean Campbell was, in his mother's words, quotes, an incredible human being, son, brother, cousin, and friend. He was loyal to a fault, caring, compassionate, helpful, understanding, and a brilliant communicator. She describes how he excelled at sport. The grief which his violent death has caused is immeasurable. It is felt most keenly by his mother, but also by his grandmother, his siblings, other family members, and friends. The impact of DeJean's death reaches far and wide, and his death has left behind a huge void. His mother, who has behaved throughout this case with dignity, asks herself the same question that we ask on a daily basis in this court. When will this knife crime epidemic end? As she rightly says, enough young lives have been lost already, and nothing that I can do today can bring DeJean back, or, it seems, stop others from behaving as you two did. DeJean was himself a victim of local gang culture and had clearly been groomed and sucked into a life of Class A drug dealing, as so many young, disaffected teenagers in this city are. He had entered a world where the carrying of lethal knives was the norm. In his naivety, he no doubt believed that carrying a knife would protect him. His mother truly believes that he was on the very brink of giving up his criminal lifestyle and that he was due to go back to school the day after he was murdered. Thanks to the actions of the two of you, he will never do so. He will never be able to capitalize on all the positive attributes which he clearly had. Before turning to the facts, I make it clear that where I make findings adverse to either of you, I do so to the criminal standard. On the 22nd of September of last year, the two of you met up together with Jacob Losovich, who was acquitted of any offence.
I like this, right? What I like about the UK system is the only thing I get to see is this. I do like it that they go through everything. They go through all this. They don't do sentencing straight away. They go away and they think about it, and the judges all read it out. They play it out, their thought process about what happened, how it happened, why we're here, why she thinks what she thinks, or they think what they think, and they run it all through. And some of them will go on for like an hour, which is long, I know, but if you don't know anything about it, I think it's quite interesting.
Jacob Losovich drove you to an address to which he had access in Eglinton Road in Woolwich. You had been to the...
There you go. Second Amendment and just replace the word firearm. That's what I mean. They are good like that. We're shit at transparency in order to show the court, but I'm glad we're starting to,
address before. From that address could be seen a well-trodden path where you knew you might find local boys such as Dijon Campbell, who for some reason, no doubt related to some sort of pathetic gang rivalry, was a target of your aggression and needed to be G-checked. Perhaps you didn't bargain for the fact that Dijon would be armed with a knife himself, or that he would try to stand his ground. As you saw Dijon head up the path, you ambushed him. You had your heads and faces covered. You, Imri Dewey, had a large zombie-style machete in a sheath. When you reached the top of the path, you confronted Dijon, who quickly dropped his knife. His knife broke, and from that moment, he was defenseless. I completely reject the assertion that he had a second knife. As you told the jury, Imri Dewey, adrenaline kicked in, and the two of you chased Dijon as he tried to run away. You, Imri Dewey, stabbed him a total of 8 times. One wound was to his head, and other injuries to his arm and hands were caused when he tried to protect his head from further injury. You also stabbed his thigh and ankle. The fatal injury was delivered with at least moderate force as Dijon was running away. Your machete cut the femoral vein in his leg and penetrated to such a depth that the knife hit the pelvic bone. You may not have intended to kill Dijon, but there was an extremely high likelihood of death, bearing in mind the location of that fatal wound and the nature of the weapon which you used. You, Marco Ballas, were right there. You provided backup, knowing that Imri Dewey had drawn his machete, and as the jury found, you encouraged him to stab Dijon, intending that Dijon suffer significant, albeit not really serious harm from stab wounds. As Dijon lay bleeding to death and calling for his mother, you two ran off, taking the machete with you. You went back to Eglinton Road, where you both laid low for some hours. You, Marco Ballas, had to be home by 9 p.m. to comply with the curfew, which was one of the bail conditions for the drugs offences. You ordered a taxi in a false name, and having been collected some distance away from Eglinton Road, you headed home. Following your arrest, you told a pack of lies in your police interview. You, Imri Dewey, did not go home. You told the jury that you enlisted the help of a caring friend who was clearly a fellow criminal, who helped you to get rid of your phone, blood-stained clothing, and the murder weapon. I have no doubt that there was incriminating material on your phone, which would have showed the motive for and the plan to attack. You obtained a new phone, changed your clothes, and went home much later that night. Meanwhile, Dijon was pronounced dead at the scene. He had bled out from a major femoral vessel injury. The messages between you, Imri Dewey, and your girlfriend show that you recognized what you had done and that you were facing a long sentence. You described it as karma. When in custody following your arrest, you were clearly distressed and owned up to being responsible, but you did not have the courage to plead guilty. During and since the trial, you have begun to realize the enormity of what you did. You, Marco Ballas, recorded images of the scene and of Dijon. Whilst in custody, you boasted to your cousin and girlfriend that you had been responsible for the killing and that it was you that had stabbed Dijon. Listening to those calls increased the distress for Dijon's mother, who had to hear you showing off about her son's death, your involvement in it, and your complete dismissal that a young boy had died. In the light of the jury's verdict, however, I cannot be sure that you had a knife, and I will not sentence you on that basis, despite the contents of those prison calls. On the other hand, you did know that Imre Dewey was armed with a machete. The two of you are no strangers to the carrying of knives. You, Imre Dewey, are now 18. You were 17 at the date of the murder. You told the jury that you've regularly carried knives, including machetes, since you were 13. You have a caution from October 2020 for possession of a knife, when you were only 13. You have a conviction for possession of another knife 3 days later, for which a referral order was imposed. You have yet another conviction for possession of a knife less than 8 months later, in June 2021. That weapon was a large kukri knife. Less than a year before the murder, you were convicted of possession of a machete and a fray. For those offences, you received a 12-month youth rehabilitation order with intensive supervision. The murder was committed during the currency of that order, and it is quite clear to me that all attempts at helping you to leave that way of life behind you had failed despite intensive intervention. You, Marco Ballas, are now 19. You were 18 at the date of the killing. You have 2 separate convictions for possession of knives in 2023. You too failed to respond to intensive supervision. At the time of the killing, you were on bail with an electronically monitored curfew for possession with intent to supply cocaine, heroin, and cannabis, and for possession of the criminal proceeds of your drug dealing. Those offences to which you very recently pleaded guilty occurred on the 8th of July of last year. At 7:15 that evening, you were stopped by police and found to have over £500 in cash, £60 worth of cannabis, and 17 wraps of crack cocaine. When you were searched more thoroughly, 13 more packages of cocaine and 5 of heroin were found hidden in your underwear. Examination of your phone revealed that you were advertising drugs for sale back to January of 2020.
Objection, Your Honor. Lack of foundation calls for speculation. Unintelligible. I don't understand.
The objections for you, Hack. Why must these judges all speak like Scrooge? They speak Welsh, English, the proper English, Erin Hack. That's what they do. Oh. Anyway, do you know what I had yesterday? I was thinking about you, Erin. I had marmalade yesterday, like Paddington. I had marmalade on toast. I should have told you sooner. I forgot. Bad Daza, yes, we call it English. We call it English. What do we tell? Erin Hack?
Hey man, just want to let you know that sometimes you gotta shut the fuck up. And this current time is just one of those times you gotta shut the fuck up. I don't think you're a bad person. I just don't want to hear you talking anymore. You gotta shut the fuck up.
Bex, you are not fancy. Let me just reiterate, you are not fancy. You are a...
You're a cunt. You're a cunt.
You are a cunt. You're a cunt.
You're a cunt. You're a cunt. You're a cunt. You're a cunt.
Shit, what happened there? Hang on. Does the US system take note this? I like this system. So this is good, but what I would say that we are lacking is we got a great process. We do, we really do, but we lack the process of transparency of the actual trials. So we don't have videos for trials. We have sentencing, which is a good step in the right direction. But I want to see the trials. You know, I can go to them, but you know, it's a pain in the ass. How does it work in the US since they don't have one written constitution? So Wales and England are under the same court system. I'm not sure about Scotland. I can't speak on behalf of Scotland or Northern Ireland and stuff. I don't know how that would work. So the answer to that is I don't know how it all works in totality. No, I've never been a juror, never been asked to be a juror, never asked. My mother was a juror once. Me, my father, my sister have never once been asked to be a juror. Marmalade, that's very, it is. It was nice as well. That's Erin Hack, Robin G. I am a fan. See you next Tuesday. I think it's all under the crown. Yeah, okay. That should be. Bad Dads probably knows more than me about this. I do want to speculate about Scotland and stuff, you know. So, but I knew Wales was under the crown, but wasn't sure about Scotland, Northern Ireland. So there you go. I believe Bad Dads is right. Anyway, that was for Erin Hack. She's disappeared again now. So are you? I got kicked out of jury duty round 2 for a murder 1 case. Well, I mean, I'm surprised you made it to round 2. I'm surprised there's not a wanted list in Minnesota where it says this person cannot be a juror. You know, this person is in the weeds. She cannot be. Yeah, I wasn't there long enough to even Google the case. You're such an ass. It's unbelievable. But we love you. All right, here we go.
Imri Due, you are now aged 18. At the date of the offence, you had recently turned 17. I begin with the murder, which carries a mandatory life sentence. As you were 17 at the date of the offence, I must order you to be detained during His Majesty's pleasure. I then have to determine the minimum term that you must serve before you can be considered for release by the parole board. You took a knife to the scene and had it available to use as a weapon and used it to commit the murder. Therefore, paragraph 5A of Schedule 21 of the 2020 Sentencing Act applies. That gives a starting point for the minimum term of 23 years based on your age at the time of the offence. I bear in mind that had you been 16, the starting point for the minimum term would have been 17 years.
Just to mention, hey, Lady Di, I've done your back thing as well. I've done your back thing. You can look at what you think about it on there. I've sat for a jury. I was ready to argue when the time came. Most people argued with me though, so I was a bit let down. Look, agreed with you. Okay, agreed with you. I've not had any caffeine today yet, and none. Just to remind people, right? Wherever the sentence is here, so they went to trial, right? So they get the full sentence, minimum sentence. However, whether it's murder, whether it's RAing, no matter what, if you, at the first opportunity, plead guilty, you instantly get 1/3 off your sentence. So say now she was to say murder, you're going to serve 30 years, as an example. If it was 30 years, the defendant would automatically get 10 years taken off. So it'd be 20 years they would serve. And the reason for that is because they're trying to encourage people to plead guilty at the first instance and to not drag it through court systems and go for trial just for the sake of going for trial. So for the more heinous stuff, if you're genuinely guilty and they can prove it, and they present that to you, if you plead guilty, you get 1/3 taken off. So I just want to make sure you all knew that. And that's for any case. You get 1/3. It again is to encourage people to basically not drag, because if that wasn't in place, then what have you got to lose? You take it to trial, basically. So in some ways, people view it as a reward and things, So, and it's to help the families heal quicker, save on taxpayers' money and stuff like that. So that's a system that we have in the UK. So in case none of you knew that, so.
I then have to consider aggravating and mitigating factors. The relevant aggravating factors are: 1, your numerous previous offences of knife possession and the fact that, as you told the jury, you have regularly carried a knife since the age of 13. 2, the obvious planning to confront Dijon or someone else from the area, including the use of disguises, although to some extent the planning is reflected in the starting point, and I do not add significantly to the minimum term to reflect planning further. Thirdly, your actions after the murder of disposing of your clothing, phone, and the murder weapon. And fourthly, the fact that you committed the offence during the currency of a youth rehabilitation order, which had been imposed for knife possession and violence. Those matters would justify a significant increase in the minimum term. Turning to mitigation, I have read the intermediary report, the psychological report, and the pre-sentence report. It is extremely depressing to note that despite a loving home, to which your mother refers in her statement, which I've also read, with a caring and responsible parent where you grew up as a well-behaved child with enormous potential. In 2020, when your mother was out of the country, you were clearly groomed by older boys, and like Dijon.
It does save a lot of time and money. I understand that if you look at it from a neutral point of view now, right? If you looked at this as you got no skin in the game whatsoever, then I think it's a very good thing. It does save a lot of time, a lot of heartache, and a lot of money in courts. Now, obviously, I see the flip side as well, where people would say, well, you know, it's not really justice if you be put in for murder and you get 10 years knocked off or whatever it is. So I get that side, but you know, it saves a shit ton of money, you know. Is this just wearing a wig? Yes. George Washington vibes. Sorry if this has been mentioned. No worries, it's fine too. Yeah, it's wearing a wig. In the UK, they all wear wigs. They all do. See you later, Hack. Well, I won't see you later. I'll see you tomorrow or something. Anyway, yes, all the barristers and judges wear wigs in the UK.
Sucked into a world of gangs and knife crime. In August 2024, you were declared to have been a victim of child criminal exploitation. By September, your life consisted of smoking cannabis with your friends and wandering the streets of Woolwich with a lethal weapon. You have made good progress while on remand, and sadly now I think you are finally beginning to understand the dangers of carrying knives and the fact that young teenagers are being killed and others locked up for large parts of their lives. I accept that you now regret your actions and are to some extent remorseful. Your youth is already reflected in the reduced minimum term. I am prepared to find that you did not intend to kill Dijon, but as I've already said, there was a very high risk of death, so that justifies little reduction in the minimum term. Having considered everything in the reports, including your immaturity and naivety, as well as your limited intelligence and understanding of what you were doing, and the remorse we are finally demonstrating, I have decided that the mitigating factors outweigh the aggravating factors, due not least to your youth. The minimum term I finally decided upon is one of 21 years. There will be a short concurrent sentence for the knife offence, which will be reduced by 33% to reflect your guilty plea. I will spell out the precise sentence at the end of these sentencing remarks. Marco Ballas, you are now 19. I begin with the manslaughter. I sentence you on the basis that you encouraged Imre Due to...
No, life does not mean life. You have to have a minimum sentence. So he just got 21 years there, but that is included the 33%. So he did plead guilty. So he gets 33% reduction already. It does not mean life. However, it doesn't mean that you won't be in prison for life. So she will give a minimum sentence of, say, 30 years. They then have to go in front of a parole board. So they have just received life in prison. However, after 30 years or whatever, they have to then go in front of a parole board, and then they determine whether they get released or not. So if they are still a danger, life is life, but it's very rare to put that in. So it's just wild to me that a knife is so dangerous there. Like, I have so many pocket knives, and it's no big deal here. That's the least of our worries, weapons-wise. Yeah, it's our biggest weapon, you know. So, yeah, you could be so careful with it. We wish, but does
stabbed Dijon as part of a planned and targeted attack But of course, I recognise that you didn't intend that DeJean should be killed or hurt very seriously, though you clearly intended significant injury. Having considered the sentencing guidelines, I have concluded that this offence falls within culpability B, due to the fact that the death was caused in the course of an unlawful act, which must have involved an intention to cause harm just short of grievous bodily harm, and which carried a high risk of death or really serious harm, which ought to have been obvious to you. That gives a starting point of 12 years and a range of 8 to 16 years. However, your responsibility is reduced to some extent due to...
Hello, Coco. Yes, they do wear wigs. They wear the wigs. They always have, always will wear the wigs in the UK. The judges and the barristers. How are you, Coco?
To your significant learning disability, which I will treat as an important mitigating factor. The aggravating factors are firstly your previous convictions for knife possession, which are in my view relevant and sufficiently recent. Secondly, the fact that the offence was committed when you were on bail for serious drug offences. And thirdly, the fact that you were the subject of a youth rehabilitation order at the date of the offence. I have read the pre-sentence report, which accurately sets out your background and your future risk. The mitigation is your youth, your lack of maturity, and most importantly, your very significant learning disability, which means that you have an extremely low level of intellectual functioning and a very real mental impairment, which I am sure makes you more susceptible to negative influences and impulsive acts. Subject to the question of totality, to which I will return, I have concluded that the least sentence which is appropriate for the manslaughter on its own would have been one of 10 years. I then have to consider whether you qualify as a dangerous offender. Whilst I have concluded that you do so qualify, in the light of the sentence which I'm going to pass upon you, I do not consider that it would be appropriate further to extend the licence period, and therefore I propose to pass a determinate sentence upon you. I turn then to the drugs matters. Your offending falls within significant role at category 3 of the relevant guideline, which for the class A offences gives a starting point of 4.5 years and a range of 3.5 to 7 years. Concurrent short sentences are appropriate for the cannabis and criminal property offences. The aggravating factor is your failure to comply with earlier orders. The mitigation is the same as for the manslaughter offence. The sentence prior to consideration of your late pleas would be one of 42 months. That would be reduced to 34 months to reflect just under 20% credit before I deal with totality. Before I deal with the final sentences, I deal with ancillary matters. Any outstanding orders for either of you will be revoked, and I take no action on the breach of the conditional discharge in your case, Mr. Bowers. The phone and money seized from you will be forfeited and the drugs destroyed, and you will both pay the statutory surcharge. Would you both please stand up? Imri Douay, for the planned murder of 15-year-old DeJean, whom you targeted and stabbed to death with a lethal machete when he was defenceless and posed no threat to you, the sentence is detention at His Majesty's pleasure for a minimum term of 21 years to punish you for what you did. That is the term you will serve before being considered for parole, and you will not be released unless it is determined that you no longer pose a significant risk of harm to the public. For the possession of the knife, there will be a concurrent term of 8 months custody. You have spent 370 days on remand, which reduces the minimum term to one of 19 years and 360 days, and that is the term which I impose. Marco Ballas, in order to reflect totality, I do intend to reduce the sentence for the manslaughter in respect of which you participated in a fatal attack upon DeJean with Imri Douay, who you knew was armed with a machete and who you encouraged to stab him. The sentence for that offence is 9 years detention. I reduced the sentence on counts 1 and 2 on the drugs indictment from 34 months to 2 years on each offence to run concurrently to each other, but consecutively to the 9 years, giving a total of 11 years detention. That will be reduced to 10 years and 328 days to reflect the qualifying curfew. For the cannabis offence and the criminal property offence, there will be concurrent 3-month sentences on each. Should my calculation of the days on remand or the qualifying curfew be incorrect, the parties must notify the court by 4:30 p.m. today, and I will have the case called back on and adjust the term.
See you later, Coco. Good luck, my darling. Hello, Forrest Dump. How are you doing? Hope you're doing well. Hope everyone is doing well.
Guess what? You're a bitch.
So there's 2 defendants, Amy. So one had 11 years, and then one had 21 years. So the guy who actually did the killing got 21 years. But in actual fact, he received, I think it was like nearly 32 years. But because, again, he pleaded guilty before going to trial, he got 33% of his sentence reduced. So the discounts on this occasion are for their age, because one of them was 17 when it happened. So they were like, he was not an adult, so there's a reduction for that. And then the other big reduction was because he pleaded guilty. So again, anyone that pleads guilty for any case automatically get at the first convenient time of doing so, automatically gets 33% off. So this guy had 30 odd years reduced to 21 because he pleaded guilty, and also because of his age, and also it was reduced further because he's already spent over a year in prison, so it's time served. So yeah, so that's why he's got 19 years and 300 whatever days it was. So, but he will serve all of that. Do you mean there's then no, like, 50% or anything. He will then go in front of a board to see if he will be left out then after that. So he's getting life, but 19 years, whatever it is when he first gets the opportunity to go in front of a parole board. My friend was murdered by a 16-year-old. He's already out. It was premeditated and horrible. He only spent like 8 years in jail there. I don't believe he isn't dangerous. That's a shame, yeah. That's shit, that is. That is shit. That is. Right, okay. Let's do some cleansing, shall we? Let's do some cleansing before we finish for the day. Let me play some videos for you here, just to lighten it up a little bit here. I need to lighten it up a little bit.
Not sitting here. Don't granny me when all your kids have different dads. You blame ADHD for their shitty behaviours, and your fanny alone looks a million times older than me. Oh, fuck off, granny. You're not sitting here. Don't granny me when all your kids have different dads. You blame ADHD for their shitty behaviours, and your fanny alone looks a million times older than me. Oh, fuck off, granny. You're not sitting here. Don't granny me when all your kids have.
Ready to order?
Wake me up inside. Wake me up. Feel the rain on your skin. No one else can feel it for you. Only you can.
Ready to order?
My wife's at the toilet.
Any idea what she's having?
Well, she's been a while, so probably a shit.
Caesar dressing, yeah. More like when I see her dressing, I ask her to do the opposite, which is undressing, and then I see her tits. And her clit. Tahini, what, like Michael Jackson? French dressing, yeah. More like put your clothes back on because you're hairy. Coronation sauce, what, like EastEnders? Soy, ginger, and miso, yeah. More like if I saw a ginger woman, miso honey. Buttermilk ranch, yeah. More like your nut milk is rank, mate. Shower head, yeah. More like you're going to give me head when you're in the shower. I wash, yeah. I wash my gooch so you can have fun with playing with it. No, we're not blood related. It's my stepladder.
I'm claustrophobic, Darren!
You won, Jane.
Oh my God.
Enjoy the money. I hope it makes you
my
very
God.
happy.
The mummy says you hate foreigners.
No, little girl. No.
Well, Alice, it seems we both got autism, haven't we?
Yeah.
Tell us about your flapjack, please.
Started making it, had a breakdown. Bon appetit.
Bom, bim, bom.
I'm claustrophobic, Darren!
You won, Jane.
Oh my God.
Enjoy the money. I hope it makes
Oh
you
my
very
God.
happy.
The mummy says
You bastard, he won't let me. Hey, Josie. I'll try and figure that out. How are you doing, Josie? Hope you're well. Yeah, yeah. It is a good show, yes. Lots of people say that they have not got the notifications either. Oh, we got some royalty in here. We got Eric here. How you doing, my friend? I look forward to seeing you soon, Eric, in a couple of weeks. Hope you are doing well, my friend. Good work with the channel. You're doing cracking work over there in Cadder Chronicle. Doing well. Hope you're well, my friend. Play some Benny Hill. Benny Hill is funny. He is funny. I'll give you that. Hang on. What if I just go? What if I do this? I just want to play something light-hearted. I don't want to like okay. Hang on. Let's play this then. Happy days, Eric. I look forward to seeing you, my friend.
Fuck off. What are you talking about? How was my day? My day has got absolutely...
Dead Brown has got a better record than you. Well, fair enough, but I'm breathing, so I win.
Miss, can I just tell you? I'm sorry to hear that your grandma passed away. I actually am like, obviously I'm gonna be upset about that, yeah. And then you know the only thing is, no one can force me to be a mate or anything, yeah. And I don't want to be mates with you, alright?
Oh, because they...
Do you want to pop your things on the conveyor? Don't worry about that, we're just making a documentary. You want to pop your things on the conveyor belt? No, not the basket, just the items. Oh, well, don't put them on the floor because you have to keep bending down to pick them up. So just pop back at the end. That's all right. Yeah, but not on the conveyor, at the very end. Okay. Should we scan your items? Okay. Yeah, well, no, don't bring them to me.
Okay, some of these are not that funny, so I'll get one here. I know it's funny. You might get offended by it, but if you don't get offended by this, you can stick around.
Everybody's a bit of a cunt sometimes. Everybody's a bit of a cunt sometimes. We're bastards and we're gits. We're wankers and we're shits. But sometimes that is just one word that absolutely fits. Everybody's a bit of a cunt sometimes. A fact that any Catholic won't deny. I once shagged my girlfriend's sister. My gran's dead. I've never missed her. Ooh, what a cunt. Everybody's a bit of a cunt sometimes.
Seriously, Steve, fuck off.
Everybody's a bit of a cunt sometimes. Everybody's a bit of a cunt sometimes. See the beggar passing by, make a kitty cry. You're in your father's will, when's he gonna fucking die? Everybody's a bit of a cunt sometimes. Don't say you're not, you cunt, because that's a lie.
You're a cunt.
You're a cunt.
You're a cunt. You're a cunt.
You're a cunt. You're a cunt. You're a cunt. You're a cunt.
Give him the cunt, says Dad.
Guess what? You're a bitch.
In-Betweeners, yes, In-Betweeners are fantastic. They were great. And they're still great, as in thing. But hello, Ashlyn. My pleasure, my darling. My pleasure. I never know if people get offended by stuff. Thank you, my darling. It's always good to see you. All I want to do is make people laugh. All I want to do is make people laugh, make them happy, and make them feel safe. So this is Sean Locke. Sean's actually died years ago, but he is pretty thing. So okay. Okay, that's done there. Ba 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 ba. Beep 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 beep. Are we back? 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 Dee 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 dee. Dee 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 dee. Da 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 da. Am I back? Am I back? Tell me if I'm back. Am I back? Am I back? Tell me if I'm back. Am I back? Oh, tell me if I'm back. What's going on? Why am I back? I think so. Is he bored now? Are we back? Yes, we're back. Okay. Fine. Hang on, let me just check it. I need to just check a couple of things here now. Hi, Corn Pope. How are you doing today? I know you hate my voice and my songs, so I made this just for you, Corn Pope, better known Corn Pope. Thank you to Robin G for making the name Corn Pope for thee. There you go, we're back. They don't like me playing stuff, obviously. I don't know why, because I've got my ads switched off now, so I don't. But yeah, they don't like it. I have a smaller one. This one is a smaller one. We'll try this one to see what happens. If they do it again, I'll just tell them.
You're a cunt. You're a cunt.
You're a cunt. You're a cunt.
You're a cunt. You're a cunt. You're a cunt. You're a cunt.
Yeah, Corn Pope, you were gifted a membership and you didn't come back in, you bitch. What? Yeah, how are you doing, Corn Pope? I haven't seen you on the streets for a while. Hope you're doing well. Everyone talked to Dumpster last night. Everyone spoke to Dumpster last night except for me, I think. I'm glad to hear she's doing well, though. It's good, nice to see you as well, Corn Pope. New snip. Yes, we got a few new snips here now. Oh no, I'm around, but I can't talk alone. That's fine, my darling. That's fine. It's good to see you. Right, we will play a little bit. This is, I would say, Peter Kay is. He doesn't do as much now, but he is. Yeah, there's a lot here. He's very, very good. He's very young. Badaz are very young. If the Americans get the British humor, because this is funny, I do wonder if you get it.
Smack your bitch up, Tony. Knock it up, buddy.
For fuck's sakes. Oh. Okay. I should be back now. I should be back. Oh, right. I am back, but I am done. Friggin' these big companies like to fuck with us, smaller channels. Yeah. So the problem is when you got big companies, they're really on it. It's switched on when it comes to these things, and they just, they take you down. So no more stuff. No, I'm pretty much done for the day anyway. So I was just thinking, what else I put in. I think I played all the videos, all the new videos. I've not played this for a while. I'll play this for Mexi.
Correct way of pronouncing this word is great tits. Great tits. Great tits. Great tits. Great tits. Once more time. Great tits. Great tits. Repeat it with me.
Great
tits.
Great
tits. I hope that the pronunciation of this word is clear to all of you. So, the correct pronunciation of this word is great tits.
So anyway, I think we'll end the stream now anyway because I'm done. Tell Dumpster I love her. I miss her. Yeah. So there we go. Today's been a bit of a disaster to end with, but I've enjoyed. I enjoyed doing the shorter streams. Anyway, just a reminder. I'm not sure if it's been televised or not. 2:00 Karen is in court, and I believe Aiden is as well. Over the phones and stuff like that. I do not know if it's going to be streamed by anybody. I'm not, going to be, so this should be show and tell. I'd love to do show and tell. Play Cornpo, the new song. The new song is about Cornpo. As well, yeah, I might as well play. It doesn't really matter now.
Everybody's a bit of a cunt sometimes. Everybody's a bit of a cunt sometimes. We're bastards and we're gits. We're wankers and we're shits. But sometimes that is just one word that absolutely fits. Everybody's a bit of a cunt sometimes. A fact that any Catholic won't deny. I once shagged my girlfriend's sister. My gran's dead. I've never missed her. Ooh, what a cunt. Everybody's a bit of a cunt sometimes.
Seriously, Steve, fuck off.
Everybody's a bit of a cunt sometimes. Everybody's a bit of a cunt sometimes. See the beggar passing by, make a kitty cry. You're in your father's will, when's he gonna fucking die? Everybody's a bit of a cunt sometimes. Don't say you're not, you cunt, because that's a lie.
You're a cunt.
You're a cunt. You are a cunt. You're a cunt.
You're a cunt. You're a cunt. You're a cunt. You're a cunt.
Give him the cunt, says Dad.
Cunt.
And then I think this
Guess what? You're a bitch.
You're a bitch.
Hey man, just want to let you know that sometimes you gotta shut the fuck up. You gotta shut the fuck up. And this current time is just one of those times you gotta shut the fuck up. I don't think you're a bad person. I just don't want to hear you talking anymore. You gotta shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up. Anyway, how to destroy your channel. If any content creator wants to understand how to destroy your channel and play these clips, then I'm your man. I'll show you how it's done. I will deal with all the copyright stuff tonight, but the video is in non-monetized, so I switched it off, so there should be no ads, or should not be any ads for those that are watching it on repeat. So how to destroy it, literally YouTube hates it with a passion, hates it. They hide you, and like they do all sorts for you. So I don't know why I keep doing it, but I find it funny. So I find it funny. So what we're gonna do? I prefer to laugh and make you guys laugh, I hope, than care about numbers and money. Need to stretch. Anyway, we will end it there. As I say, Karen and I believe Aiden is in court, 2:00 Eastern. I don't know if it will be shown or anything like that. I obviously not showing it, but I don't know if Mikey and Jerks will be showing it. If it is live, Mikey and Jerks will be showing it because Mike shows everything. So, but yeah, there you go. Right. Thank you, everybody. I will see you tomorrow for Walk and Talk. I will be out walking again 9:00 tomorrow for an hour. So if you've got any topics you want to discuss, then please do so. I appreciate it. I understand lots of people will, but Mike's the only one I will promote because he's the only one that would allow us to stream. So that's why I say Mike. I think he will still stream it though, Jersey Jen. So for this one, he will be taking a break though. So thank you, everybody, and I'll see you all tomorrow morning. Take care. Good night. Goodbye. Nice to see you.
Ole, 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 Erin hack, 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 ole, Erin hack, 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 ole, let's go, Erin hack, 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 ole, Erin hack, 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 ole.